Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
All right, we're taking a live look out at the Alamo City. Look at that. The sun is out. It is gorgeous out there. If you missed it, we had a beautiful shot of the sunrise earlier this morning. What is the rest of the day? What is the weekend going to look like? Are we going to see rain on Monday? We're going to check in with Sarah Spivey in just a few moments. But for now, good morning. It is 8 o'clock. It is Saturday, January 6th. Thank you so much for starting your morning with us.
Good morning.
It's gotten colder.
It has.
It has gotten colder. So for those of you who don't know, first off, love the mornings. Hate the cold. Anything under 50, I'm out.
Is a weird person. Like, I've never met someone who will take the triple digits in the summer.
100%.
Over this. I'll take this, Sarah. I'll put on a sweater.
You have the sweater?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's okay for me to wear a sweater on
Do
air.
you own sweaters?
I have numerous sweaters. Remember, I was born on the East Coast.
Okay, but are they like hoodies or do you wear like the cardigans? Are you a cardigan?
I'm not a cardigan guy.
Oh.
Look at me. Do I look like a cardigan guy? Sarah Spivey, cardigan girly.
For sure.
I do have my sweater on. Hey, but guess what? This cold is going to be very, very short-lived because we're quickly warming, but we did get down to 37 degrees this morning in San Antonio. It's 36 in New Braunfels, 34 in Hondo. Good morning, Del Rio. It's 35 degrees, 42 in Cotulla. Light freeze ongoing in the Hill Country right now, where it's 32 in Bernie, 32 in Bulverde, 31 in Kerrville, and 30 in Bandera. But a quick warm-up is in store today. It'll be 68 this afternoon and a little breezy in the afternoon. Tomorrow morning, another cold start, but a comfortable afternoon at 65. And we will once again be breezy on Sunday. Then Sunday night into Monday, we start to see some areas of drizzle work their way in the forecast. This is all a precursor to some very windy conditions by Monday and Tuesday. So all in all, a nice and breezy weekend, a damp Monday morning on deck, and then very windy, gusts up to 40 to 50 miles per hour Monday and Tuesday. I'll tell you what you need to know to take this beautiful weekend and prepare for the gusty winds on Monday and Tuesday. Details ahead. Max and Sarah.
Thank you, Sarah. New this morning, a heavy law enforcement presence seen just after midnight. This all unfolded on the north side after a covert operations arrest. And it's not where it started either. San Antonio police say covert units were conducting surveillance on the south side of town. That's when they saw a man get out of a vehicle with a weapon and a mask. That man then went into a store, came outside when police started following the vehicle. They found out it was stolen. It ended up crashing at a QT near the airport. 4 suspects got out of that vehicle, started to run. That's when SWAT, covert, Texas DPS, and SAPD all surrounded the area. All 4 suspects were apprehended, taken into custody. Now, this is clearly a developing story. We are working to get more information. And once we have it, we're going to bring it to you on air and online.
A San Antonio police officer is fired after being investigated for groping a woman and damaging her son's home in New Braunfels. Is happening over the summer. So
records obtained by KSAT Investigates show Officer Jeremiah Duque Jr. was terminated in late November, months after the July incidents. So Duque was off duty when he allegedly put his hands on the breast of the homeowner's mother during a party. After being confronted by a witness about the incident, Duque allegedly stated he, quote, could do whatever he wanted, unquote.
So a physical fight then broke out between Duque and the woman's son. Witnesses pulled the men apart, but records show Duque then broke a window, trying to force his way back into the home.
Now, New Braunfels police says that Duque was seriously intoxicated, later cursed at the staff at an area emergency room. He was not arrested since both the woman and the homeowner did not pursue criminal charges.
The man charged with theft in connection to a food trailer fake company is out on bond. Meanwhile, victims are still waiting for a second person to be arrested. Alan Polanco says he was swindled out of $5,000 from Tu Trailita food trailer back in September. The lot where the company operated along I-35 frontage road in Southwest Military is now empty. On the company's social media pages, they advertised brand new trucks, and they appear to be doing business across the country. Polanco says many of the other victims have lost up to $30,000 individually. Bexar County says they believe there are many more victims out there outside of Texas.
You might not going to receive the money, but at least the last thing we can expect from this beautiful country that opened the doors for people like us is justice.
Last week, Bexar County investigators arrested Miguel Angel Cuellar Lopez and charged him with 3 counts of theft. Now he's out on bond, but his son, who faces the same charges, still on the run. We have more information on what name the company was registered and also the photo of his son right there on KSAT.com.
Top of your morning headlines. 3 years ago, we witnessed the January 6th Capitol attack. Thousands of people breaching the Capitol building. After then, President Donald Trump urged his supporters to help overturn the 2020 election results before Congress certified those election results showing Joe Biden won. President Joe Biden kicking off the 2024 election season in Montgomery County, Pennsylvania. Did so just yesterday, and he wanted to do it in that area meant to emphasize Biden's message of democracy. And remember, where he did it was just 20 miles from the historic Valley Forge location.
And it's because of the January 6th riot. Former President Donald Trump was removed from certain states' ballots. But as of this morning, ABC is reporting that Trump is back on the ballot in Colorado after the Supreme Court announced yesterday it will take up the election case. So the Supreme Court said justices will hear arguments for the case on February 8th. Trump spoke at a campaign event in Iowa last night saying, quote, "All I want is fair. I just hope that they're going to be fair," end quote. Trump continues to dominate the Republican presidential primary field ahead of the Iowa caucuses, now less than 2 weeks away.
The Supreme Court set to consider its second major abortion-related case of the year. Yesterday, the High Court said it will decide if emergency room doctors can perform medically necessary abortions in states where they're prohibited. Now, this stems from a lawsuit from the United States v. Idaho, where it says doctors who break this law could have their licenses suspended. The White House did sue, saying a federal Medicare statute supersedes Iowa state law in emergency rooms. The other abortion-related matter that the Supreme Court set to hear this year is related to a drug-induced medical abortion.
A former U.S. Capitol police officer who was on duty during the January 6th attack is hoping to return to the Capitol, this time as a congressman. So Harry Dunn has announced he is running for Maryland's 3rd congressional district. Dunn has publicly spoken out about the violence he and other members of law enforcement experienced at the Capitol during the insurrection. Despite the trauma it caused him, Dunn continued to work as a Capitol police officer. Dunn says he's running to fight against former President Donald Trump, who he blames for the insurrection. Dunn has been awarded the Congressional Gold Medal and the Presidential Citizens Medal for his actions during that attack.
And student loan payments resumed, remember, back in October, but some borrowers, they are still receiving inaccurate billing statements. All this according to a new report from the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Now, in addition to billing errors, borrowers are experiencing processing delays and even long hold times. In response, the Biden administration punishing 3 of its 4 servicers. That's withholding more than $2 million from Advantage, Ed Financial, and Nelnet, saying the companies failed to meet their contractual obligations.
And KSAT is your home for election coverage right now on our website. If you go to this article, it's going to break down everything you need to know ahead of local and national races this year. Just look for the Vote 2024 section on KSAT.com.
Time now, 8:08, 38 degrees.
Lots of people will use this weekend to take down Christmas decorations. Hopefully my husband will be doing that this afternoon. After the break, we'll tell you how to win free gardening supplies for recycling your live Christmas tree.
Good morning, welcome back. Happy weekend. Taking a live look out at the Alamo City. Looks calm and quiet out there, but if you are headed out and about early this morning, bring a jacket. It is cold out there, and it's really, I hate to say it, it's starting to feel more like Christmas now than it did during the Christmas season. And Sarah, have you taken the Christmas tree down?
My husband did, but we have all the outdoor decorations, so hopefully he'll do that later today. But as people use this weekend to take down Christmas decorations, the San Antonio Solid Waste Management Department wants you to keep in mind that you can actually recycle your live Christmas trees. This is honestly the only way that you should do this. From now on through next Saturday, you can take your live Christmas tree. Again, do not take your artificial tree to any of these. Live Christmas tree to any Solid Waste Management Department drop-off centers. Those who recycle their tree can also get a free bag of mulch from the Bitters Brush Recycling Center. So, of course, get rid of all the decorations off your tree before you take it. No live wreaths, garlands, or plants will be accepted. This is so important because what they do with these live Christmas trees is they grind them up and then they mulch them. So that bag of mulch that you're getting is probably from last year's Christmas trees.
Wow, interesting. And, you know, I'm glad we did that story because this is a weekend where you are going to want to take down the outdoor Christmas decorations too, because by Monday and Tuesday, guys, it is going to be very windy.
I hope my husband heard that.
Yes.
Today.
Is he wake up?
I don't know. Probably not.
Sarah, my husband's doing the same today.
Good.
It is going to be a very beautiful weekend for any kind of outdoor activities. Take a look outside right now. I tried to zoom this into the downtown area, but it fixed itself and went back to the street. But I wanted to show the downtown area. Absolutely beautiful right now. It is cold. It's 32 degrees in Boerne, 31 in Kerrville, 37 in San Antonio, 34 in Hondo, and 34 in Pleasanton. As we take a look at the KSAT 12-hour forecast, we're quickly going to warm today. We're in the 30s right now, but by noon it's going to be near 60 degrees. So sweater weather this morning, but not so much this afternoon. We'll be looking at a high right around 68 degrees and then a cool evening on deck too. So dress in layers today. You need the jackets in the mornings and in the evenings, but not so much in the afternoon. I also want to mention that it will get a little breezy this afternoon too. We'll see wind gusts of up to 25 miles per hour with winds from the west. So it's very dry outside, some elevated fire danger in places. So just be careful today with those gusty winds. Otherwise, neighborhood highs, 60 in Rock Springs, 71 in Del Rio, 73 in Cotulla, 66 in Canyon Lake, 64 in Kerrville, 64 in Gonzales, and 71 in Pleasanton. Here's a look across the state of Texas. We do have some areas of wintry weather in the Panhandle, but the biggest system that's going to impact most of the nation today is currently working its way across the Great Lakes, the Appalachian Mountains. This is going to be a big snowstorm for areas like Pennsylvania, Ohio. You can see it's already snowing up to New York. Several inches of rain, snowfall actually expected from this storm system. Our next storm system is all the way out in the Pacific Northwest right now. This is going to be creating gusty winds for us on Monday and Tuesday. A small opportunity for rain, some drizzle Sunday night, and then a brief window for a storm or two early Monday morning. But the biggest thing are going to be the winds. Let's take you into the futurecast. Here's that system as it rolls through Texas early on Monday morning. You can see again a brief window for rain in San Antonio on Monday morning, but the big issue is going to be those winds. This is a look at Monday morning. Winds fairly calm around San Antonio at the start of Monday, but by the end of Monday, that's when we'll be looking at winds gusting from the northwest up to 40 to 50 miles per hour. Yeah, you heard that right, up to 40 to 50 miles per hour. This is early Tuesday morning, so overnight Monday into Tuesday, we could see wind gusts easily up to 50 miles per hour, especially in the hill country. By Tuesday afternoon, though, winds will be subsiding. So what should you do with this beautiful weekend to prepare for the gusty winds Monday night and Tuesday? Well, first thing first, secure any kind of lightweight patio furniture, trampolines, even very light carports can get tossed around by that wind. Make sure your trees are trimmed, especially near power lines. And just a friendly reminder, allergies will likely go up, especially mountain cedar allergies with the wind gusting that high. Otherwise, a beautiful day tomorrow. Those gusts kick in Monday afternoon, continue through the first part of Tuesday, and then we'll have another opportunity for very windy weather on Friday as well. Here at your Weather Authority, we also like to keep track of the next big thing that might be happening outside of the 7-day forecast. That could be some very cold air by this time next week. So I'll talk a little bit more about that coming up in the next half hour.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you, Sarah. 8:17, 39 degrees.
Let's take a look at these lotto numbers. Pick 3, 720, Fireball 2. Daily 4, 5, 3, 8, 2, Fireball 1.
Cash 5, 4, 8, 19, 20, 33. Mega Millions. Are you playing?
I haven't played.
Okay.
I need to play.
Well, if you did, here are your numbers. 5, 23, 26, 38, 44. Big number 25. Mega Plier 3. And we got some interesting food to talk about.
Yeah, is there anything Whataburger can't make that's tasty? Can't make tasty. There we go. We'll take a look.
I wasn't sure if that was a shot of Whataburger.
We'll take a look at their newest menu item. after the break.
Good morning and welcome back. Hey, happy 2024. New year, new Whataburger products. A highly anticipated new menu item already available at, get this, all locations. Whata Wings, debuting with your choice of either plain, buffalo, sweet, and spicy. Honey barbecue, there's so many options. And honey butter, and on top of that,
not be bad.
Customers get to choose a dipping sauce. Whoa, and it's not like ranch or blue cheese. Dipping sauce like gravy or ranch.
Oh my gosh, Whataburger's gravy.
Here's the thing.
So good.
It is a limited edition menu item. So if you are interested, shameless plug for Whataburger, get out there, try them. Of the flavors I listed, what are we going with here?
Buffalo.
Buffalo? Oh, yeah. Original.
Yeah.
So are they real wings or are they boneless wings?
No, they're basically chicken nuggets.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, those aren't.
Here for it.
Yeah. All right. Have you ever taken the Whataburger gravy and dipped your French fries in it?
Oh, it's classic.
Oh, it's so good.
It's like what's the milkshake at McDonald's called?
I don't know. It's like fat on fat, but it's good.
Yeah, the Frosty? Is that Frosty? McFlurry. You dip the fries in the McFlurry. All the kids out there, breakfast champions.
So good.
All right. Time now, 8:22, 39 degrees.
Experts say a pet can actually help you stick to your New Year's resolutions.
Oh, look at that.
We'll look at some examples after the break.
It's 2024, and if you're looking to make a healthy change in the new year, a furry friend may be just what you need.
There's a variety of ways that pets can play a role in helping people through the holidays, throughout the year.
Stephanie Filer with Shelter Animals Count says pets can keep you motivated to move, whether it's taking a dog or cat on a walk outside or playing in the backyard. Staying active can benefit you both. Filer says animals can also boost mental health and allow for social connection, not only to your pet, but others you may meet when you're out.
You can connect with dog owners, you can connect with your neighbors more, and it just really helps reduce isolation, especially for seniors or people that are homebound.
If your resolution is to eat healthier, there are many foods which are good for you and your pet. Just research which fruits, veggies, and proteins are safe.
It can be everything from carrots and green beans and apples, and then, fish and chicken, and even for cats, they enjoy small amounts of salmon and eggs and chicken and turkey and cheese and all kinds of things.
Finally, Filer says saving an animal can help you feel good in the new year.
Whether it's adoption or fostering on a temporary basis, bringing an animal in that is in need of a good home is something that can absolutely give you a sense of pride and increase your mental health as well.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
So with all that being said, San Antonio Pets Alive is waiving their adoption fees this weekend at the Medical Care Adoption Center on Marbach Road. The address right there at the bottom left of your screen.
So this is your chance to save a pet for free. It's happening this weekend, only as a part of the New Year's adoption special. Remember, all pets from SAPA come vaccinated, microchipped, spayed, and with active heartworm prevention.
All right, time now, 8:27, 39 degrees.
We'll be right back.
Good morning, welcome back, and happy Saturday. Thank you so much for starting your morning with us. So, we talked about it. I don't like the cold, but it is going to be a gorgeous day out there.
Yeah.
Get out and about, enjoy it. Are kids still on winter break?
No. Well, okay. I know a lot went back this week, but then there's some that don't go back till Monday. So kiddos, parents, if this is your last weekend.
2 more days. Get out there and enjoy.
Great weather to get outside, Sarah.
Absolutely. The weather's going to be beautiful. It is mountain cedar season, though, and we have the pollen count in for the day. I want to give you an update. Cedar is up from yesterday. Mountain cedar is high, past 4,000. Molds are low. Now, even though mountain cedar is high right now, it's not as bad as it was the week of Christmas. Take a look outside. Temperatures on the cold side, 31 in Kerrville, 41 in Rock Springs, 36 in New Braunfels, 35 in Del Rio, 42 in Cotulla. But it is going to be a beautiful day. End up being a beautiful day all across South Central Texas and San Antonio. Our high today will be in the upper 60s. But if you're heading out west toward Devils River State Natural Area, 71, Enchanted Rock 63, 68, Guadalupe River State Natural Area, Hill Country State Natural Area 66. One thing to keep in mind, is it will be a bit breezy today. We'll have west-northwest winds at 15 miles per hour, so a little on the breezy side. What's up with the weather? What do you need to know? Well, we'll have nice weather all weekend long, but I do expect some dampness to work its way back into the forecast by Monday morning. And speaking of Monday evening and Tuesday morning, it is going to get very windy out there. We'll have wind gusts of up to 40 to 50 miles per hour in San Antonio. I'll show you those wind gusts and what you need to prepare for coming up in just a bit. Max and Sarah.
Sarah, thank you. San Antonio Police Chief William McManus says there might be another suspect in the murder of Savannah Soto, Matthew Guerra, and their unborn baby.
So this update comes after yesterday's press conference where Chief McManus also revealed the weapon used in these murders was found at the suspect's home.
So San Antonio police arrested Christopher Preciado and his father Ramon on Wednesday, and Thursday SAPD filed an additional charge against the son for abuse of a corpse and an additional charge against his father for altering a corpse. Both men remain at the Bexar County Jail.
All right, so take a look at your screen. This is actually surveillance video that ultimately led to these men's arrests. Now, Chief McManus did confirm investigators, they are looking into this portion of the video. It appears to show a towel being tossed into the hands of Ramon Preciado, presumably by someone inside his truck. So this is what Chief McManus had to say when asked about a potential third suspect.
That's something we're still looking into. It's something that's been brought up in conversation about this, so we're still looking into that.
So that could potentially be a third suspect or someone that was there while the bodies were dropped off at the apartment?
As the investigation continues, it could be. I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying it is possible.
KSAT spoke to the father of Matthew Guerra on Thursday. He implied that the case is not over and more developments could be coming.
I'm not going to say anything right now, but I don't think this is the end of it right now.
Now, obviously, this is a story we've been following extensively from day one, and we're going to be staying on top of the story, especially if there are any new developments that do come to surface. So make sure to stay with us on air and online as those developments come about.
In your Texas headlines, New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy is calling out Governor Greg Abbott over his decision to continue to send groups of migrants to the East Coast states. So one group arrived yesterday morning, including people from Ecuador and Colombia. Since last Saturday, about 26 buses have been delivered to 4 New Jersey train stations. Those arrivals included about 1,200 people. Murphy calling the whole thing a political gimmick and that Congress needs to take action.
With all due respect to the governor of Texas and others who I think are playing with people's lives, they should be ashamed of themselves. We need to, in a responsible, humane way, secure our borders. We need to find a pathway for the many millions who are here to some sort of status.
Buses are also being sent to cities like New York, Chicago, and Denver. In New York, Mayor Eric Adams has put restrictions on when those buses can drop people off. It's why more buses are expected to arrive in New Jersey to work around those rules.
Well, a Houston rapper arrested for allegedly holding a pregnant woman against her will for several years. This is what we know right now. 52-year-old Lee Carter, known by his stage name as Viper, accused of picking up a pregnant woman while she was panhandling in South Houston, bringing her to his home where the victim says that Viper locked her up, sexually assaulted her, and forced her to take drugs for close to 5 years. The woman messaged police for help through Carter's laptop, and when investigators arrived, they say that the victim weighed only about 70 pounds. Houston police located Carter, made an arrest at a hotel in Houston this past Thursday.
The cops come banging on my door. Someone had called from inside the house and was kidnapped or was not able to leave on her own. And right then, as the cops are standing at my door, a gal comes crawling out that window just there with the boards over it, just clawing her way out, pregnant, 8 months.
Inside, police found a dog, an empty mattress, and a deadbolt that closed from the outside. Houston police say they are working to get the victim and her family justice.
It's been almost a week since former Texas Congresswoman Eddie Bernice Johnson passed away. Now her family is planning to sue the hospital that was under her care for medical negligence. Her son Kirk Johnson says he found his mother in extreme pain and screaming out for help, and he couldn't find any nurses to help her. Kirk and his attorney believe that incident directly caused her surgical incision to become infected. They say lab reports done at the hospital came back showing organisms directly related to excrement.
Obviously, that wound, the dressing needs to be changed, regularly, and it needs to be kept to where nothing can get in there. And that just wasn't what happened.
If she had gotten proper care at that facility, she would be here today.
In a statement, Baylor Scott and White Health issued a statement saying, quote, Congresswoman Johnson was a longtime friend and champion in the communities we serve. She is an inspiration to all. Johnson's death certificate lists infection of the spine as the cause of her death.
Well, a flight had to make an emergency landing here in Texas Wednesday after a man allegedly assaulted a flight attendant on board. So it started when a passenger complained that 61-year-old Keith Fagiana was kicking their chair. After a flight attendant asked him to stop, he allegedly punched the crew member several times in the stomach. The American Airlines flight departed in Dallas, was flying to Montana, but they had to make an emergency landing in Amarillo. Police took him into custody when they removed flexible handcuffs to put on steel ones. He then kicked an officer in the groin, later claimed he had been drinking.
UTSA won't create a new diversity, equity, and inclusion office. Instead, it's getting rid of it altogether. It's part of a new law signed by Governor Greg Abbott to eliminate those offices from public universities across the state. So last month, UTSA said it would replace its DEI office with an Office of Campus and Community Belonging, which is compliant with the new law. But this week, UTSA said it won't happen after all. UTSA says offices' responsibilities will be given to existing offices. You can read more about this story on KSAT.com.
All right, now to college football. University of Michigan football team landed here in Texas ahead of the college football championship. Remember, it's happening Monday evening at NRG Stadium in Houston. The showdown was decided this past weekend. I'm sorry, all you UT fans out there. The Michigan Wolverines taking on the Washington Huskies. Both teams going 13-0 during the regular season. Michigan beat Alabama 27-20 in overtime at the Rose Bowl. Amazing game. And the Washington Huskies, sorry, UT fans, taking down Texas 37-30 in the Sugar Bowl. So we are going to be taking a live look from ABC at NRG Stadium ahead of Monday's game. Almost 100,000 people expected to travel to Houston, and the NRG team is ready for them. The game this Monday, 6 p.m. Tickets still available. And don't worry, Sarah Costa, you can get a ticket for close to $1,000.
Oh, I'm out. Good luck. All right, in your morning news, money news, for the first time since October, mortgage rates, well, they're slightly up. New data from Freddie Mac shows the 30-year mortgage rate averaged 6.62% this week. That's up 1% from last week. Rates have been falling for months before then, but the Federal Reserve is expected to cut rates later this year.
It really is a big question. Could interest rates finally go down? The Federal Reserve says consumers could get a break this year. Policymakers, well, they met last month, and notes show the Fed expect to cut interest rates for the first time since 2022, when it raised interest rates to fight inflation. Right now, inflation sits just below 3%, down from the 4-decade high that we saw inflation reach in March of 2022.
And now back to last year. You know what isn't down? Holiday shopping. So this past holiday season actually set a spending record. Adobe Analytics says from November 1st to December 31st of 2023, Americans spent a record $222 billion on gifts. That's up almost 5% from the holiday season in 2022. So economists say that shows Americans are spending aggressively, even though they tell pollsters they don't like the current economy.
So a big problem that we're seeing is people, they're not paying in cash, they're using their credit cards. And we're seeing that in credit card debt.
Right.
Especially after the holidays. Consumer debt in 2024, well, it is currently over $1 trillion. Wow. It really is a problem across the country.
So while U.S. credit card balance is over that $1 trillion, CNN's Karen Kaifa shows us what this means for the overall economy and where consumers can start to take card off the balance.
For millions of Americans, lingering credit card debt follow their finances into the new year.
Even if it just happened over the holidays or it happened over the last couple of years, you need to get rid of that debt.
Americans' collective credit card balances soared to a new high of more than $1 trillion in 2023, according to the Federal Reserve Bank of New York. Meanwhile, the average interest rates for credit cards spiked at more than 22% in 2023, amid the Federal Reserve's interest rate hikes to curb inflation. And while debt can feel isolating, households with credit card debt aren't an exception right now, according to consumer finance analyst Beverly Harzog, despite more promising economic numbers.
When inflation slows down, that just means that the rate of prices slows down as it's going up. It's still going up. And that's why so many are feeling the pinch of having not enough money to actually pay your monthly bills. And that's how a lot of people got into credit card debt.
Harzog says households can make a fresh start in the new year with two major first steps: creating a budget and tracking expenses.
I think of that as your financial foundation. You have those two things in place and you have control over how you spend your money.
Other key action items toward paying down debt, Harzog says, making a list of all credit card balances and knowing your credit score as a starting point. In Washington, I'm Karen Kafa.
Time now, 8:42, 40 degrees.
Take a look outside with live cam. Hey, if you're going to be out and about this morning,
Beautiful.
It's beautiful. It's still pretty chilly out there. You're going to want to take a jacket, a sweater, cover your ears, keep them warm. But Sarah Spivey says it's going to be a beautiful day. She'll have our forecast for us when we come back.
Good morning, welcome back, and happy Saturday. All right, look at that. We're moving on up, 42 degrees.
We are moving on up slowly but surely, and that's going to lead to some very nice weather this weekend. But we do have to talk about the next big thing, which is really windy conditions on Monday and Tuesday. So let's start with that first weather headline. The nice weather this weekend. Beautiful outside. It is a little cold right now as we look outside. Temperatures are generally in the upper 30s, low 40s at the start of the day here, but we are already warming up. It's 36 in New Braunfels, 41 in Rock Springs, 35 in Del Rio, 42 in Cotulla, 42 in Pleasanton, and 43 out in Gonzales. A sunny day for us. We'll be at 52 by 10, 59 by noon around the lunch hour, and then it's going to get pretty breezy in the afternoon. We'll have winds from the west at about 15 miles per hour, maybe a gust up to 25, 30 miles per hour. High temperature close to 70. So we go from the upper 30s to the upper 60s, a 30-degree temperature jump this morning, and it's going to get chilly this afternoon. So if you have Saturday night plans, bring the jacket with you. It'll be in the upper 40s by midnight. Next, let's talk a little bit about how it will be a touch damp on Monday morning. There's an upper level low pressure system that's going to be moving through Texas Sunday night and Monday, so that by early Monday morning, I think we'll have some areas of drizzle, so a bit of a damp morning commute early Monday. And even east of I-35, we could have one or two stronger storms. We're talking east of San Antonio, though, closer to Gonzales and Hallettsville. We'll keep track of that. But the big thing that's going to impact everybody are the winds. Storms will be possible, yes, across East Texas and out to New Orleans, but the winds are going to be the big thing that's going to impact all of us. Very windy Monday and Tuesday. This is a look at Monday afternoon. All across the state of Texas, wind gusts of up to 40 to 50 miles per hour going to be possible. In San Antonio, it's mainly during the second half of the day, Monday into the overnight hours, Tuesday morning into Tuesday around the midday hours as well. This is a snapshot of Tuesday at 2 a.m. So overnight Monday into Tuesday, we very well could have wind gusts of up to 50 miles per hour around San Antonio, the Hill Country, many areas around the KSAT 12 viewing area. But by the afternoon on Tuesday, those winds will subside. So looking at your 7-day forecast, I want to mention again a beautiful day tomorrow after a cold start, 65. Then we'll have some drizzle and an early storm is possible. We'll look at very windy conditions Monday and Tuesday, nice, and then windy on Friday as well. I promised you that we like to look at the next big thing in the forecast. Well, that could be some cold Canadian air working its way south into Texas by this time next week. So we'll keep you posted on that. Right now, it doesn't look like we expect any kind of ice or anything, just some cold weather by this time next week. We'll be back with more news after the break.
The Stanley Cup. Having a moment. That's what a Stanley Cup is, looking at your screen right now. So Like we once saw with the Hydro Flask and Yetis, this is the new cup.
Here we go. This is the fun video.
People going crazy for them, especially the Valentine's Day limited edition at Target. Look at your screen.
All right, so this is one of the many videos shared on social media. Look at this. There is a full-on rush to get one of these. The red and pink cups, they're so popular, Target had to limit 2 per customer.
Some people posted videos showing themselves camping out to get one. Yo, it's a cup. Normally these cost between $20 and $45, but we checked online and they are listed on sites like eBay that, for people selling them, reselling them, $200.
So it's funny because if you're a hockey player and you see like trending names,
Stanley Cup.
You'd think like Stanley Cup, like, oh, there's some crazy NHL news. No, it's just people going nuts in Target over these. These are the Valentine's Day cups?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, they're just red and pink cups that keep your drinks cold or warm. I don't get it. Also, my gripe with these cups, I don't own one.
You have a gripe?
But they don't fit in your car cup holders because they're too big.
Okay.
So, how do you hold it while you're driving? You have to, buckle it
Our
up.
producer extraordinaire, MJ, she's on her ears right now. She has a cup.
MJ,
would
how do you,
like to
how do you drive with
defend
your cup?
the
Does
Stanley
it fit
Cup?
in your car cup?
It does fit in the cup holder. Maybe you just didn't get the right Stanley Cup.
I have a Prius, so the cup holders are small.
You problems there. Time now, 8:54, 42 degrees.
Many Texans' favorite holiday is happening this year. Austin City Limits will take a look at the lineup and how you can get tickets after the break.
All right. Good morning and welcome back. Starting this Thursday, tickets for ACL Austin City Limits, well, they're going to be available for pre-sale. Can you see any of the names on here?
I see Shania Twain, Kendrick Lamar.
Good for you.
All right, so while the lineup for this year hasn't been announced yet, that was last year's. That was last year's. Okay, this is the performance list from last year. There we go. Foo Fighters. I was like, didn't these people play last year? I know Stephanie Serna went and told me she enjoyed it. So we're excited to see who will be coming to Texas this October.
All right, it is happening the first and second weekend of October. You can head to their website to sign up for alerts for when ticket pre-sale launches this Thursday. Sarah, who would you want to see at ACL this year? I know you're a big Swiftie.
I mean, Taylor would not be able to come to ACL. It'd be too much of a thing. She would shut down.
I like how you guys are on a first name basis.
Yeah. Taylor would shut it down.
Yeah, shut it down.
She would shut it down.
Yeah.
I'd have to really think about that. Maybe like a Phil Collins, like an oldie but goodie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shout out to Phil Collins, contributor to the Alamo. All right, time now, 8:57, 43 degrees.
We'll be right back.
Good morning, welcome back, and happy Saturday. We're starting off with a live look out at the Alamo City. It is gorgeous out there. A little chilly to start the day, but for all those kids, all those families, last weekend of winter break, enjoy it because today is going to be gorgeous. We're going to check in with Sarah Spivey in just a few moments. For now, good morning. 9 o'clock this Saturday. It is January 6th. Thank you so much for starting your weekend with us. Do you have any good plans to make it out and about today?
Hopefully, my husband will be taking down the Christmas decorations.
Hint, hint, Dave.
Yeah. And he was like, can you help me? I was like, yeah, I'll be out there, moral support.
Oh, like not physically helping, just their moral support committee.
Yeah, I hold the ladder.
Okay.
I hold the ladder.
That is
yeah, it's an important job. It's a very important job, actually.
Sarah Spivey, are your decorations still up?
They are, but my husband will also be taking them down today because it's going to get windy early next week. So you might as well take advantage of that and take down the Christmas decorations. All right, but you will have to contend with a high mountain cedar count today. Mountain cedar is high past 4,000. Molds are low. It is cold out there right now, yes, but we had a morning low of 37 in San Antonio, so we're already warming up. It's 44, 46 in New Braunfels, 42 in Hondo, 40 in Del Rio, 32, still freezing in Kerrville, but we will quickly be seeing these temperatures rise. It's 36 in Bernie and Bulverde, 41 in Castroville, 45 at the Stinson area, 46 in New Braunfels. Today, beautiful, 68 degrees, nice, but a breezy afternoon. Then tomorrow we'll have another cold morning at 37 with comfortable afternoon temperatures right around 65. Then drizzle develops overnight, and that's going to be a precursor to the windy conditions on Monday. So lots to talk about in the forecast. Yes, this nice breezy weekend. We will have a damp Monday morning commute, even a few rumbles of thunder possible for some. But then the big story are the very windy conditions Monday and Tuesday. How high will winds go and what do you need to do to prepare? I've got those details coming up.
Sarah, thank you. New this morning, heavy law enforcement presence was seen just after midnight on the north side after a covert operations arrest. San Antonio police say covert units were conducting surveillance on the south side of town when they saw a man get out of a car with a weapon and a mask. That man went inside a store, came back leaving that store. That's when police started following the vehicle and found out it was stolen. That vehicle ended up crashing at a QT and 4 suspects ran out and ran off. SWAT, covert, Texas DPS, and SAPD all surrounded the area. All 4 suspects were taken into custody.
Well, 2 people in the hospital this morning apparently fighting for their lives after an overnight shooting on the city's north side. This is what we know right now. Police on the scene telling us this unfolded just after 2 a.m. Police saying several suspects entered the Purple Dragon store. This is the 500 block of Hildebrand Avenue. They tried to rob the location. Now, an employee was armed, and police say there was gunfire between the employee and the suspects. Both individuals were shot, taken to the hospital at last check in critical condition. But right now, police still investigating, searching for other suspects.
A man has been arrested in connection to a shooting near Lacoste, that's in Medina County. According to Medina County Sheriff's Office, Tyler Phillips was arrested and charged with deadly conduct and criminal mischief. Police say Phillips was responsible for shooting a pellet gun, BB gun, or air rifle at moving vehicles along 2-lane highways near Lacoste, Natalia, and Castroville. The arrest comes following reports of more than 12 similar cases in Medina County that happened in November and December.
30 and counting. That is how many complaints Bexar County Sheriff's investigators say they have received about an allegedly fake food truck company.
So one of the owners arrested a week ago, now out on bond awaiting trial. The other suspect still has not been found. Patty Santos explains how the victims say they got fooled.
I wanted to start a new business in food, which has been my dream for a while.
And Alan Polanco's dream is still on hold. He says he was swindled out of $5,000 by Tu Trailita food trailers in September.
I gave a down payment, but I didn't receive nothing.
The lot of 535 Frontage Road near Southwest Military was once full of brand new food trucks. It's now empty, like the pockets of many alleged victims.
They were saying that they were going to help us to fulfill this dream.
Polanco is one of more than 30 people who paid thousands for new trailers like the ones advertised on the company's social media pages. The company told him it would be delivered in 6 to 8 weeks.
Every time we used to go, they came out with another lie, or they say in a very nice manner, say, no, you have to wait, your food trailer is getting done, we have to be patient, we are very busy, we have many customers.
Last week, Bexar County investigators arrested Miguel Angel Cuellar Lopez and charged him with 3 counts of theft. Now he's out on bond. But his son, Miguel Angel Cuellar Martinez, who faces the same charges, is still on the run.
If these guys have any of your money and you're waiting for this product, they are not in the business. They're not in a legitimate business. You're not going to get your product.
State tax records show the company was registered in 2021 as Sirius LLC. The Tu Trailita website is no longer active and the phone numbers listed are disconnected.
Welcome to Verizon Wireless. Your call cannot be completed as dialed.
There's also no activity at the company's second location on Hildebrand.
There's over 30 victims that have come forward. Do you think there are more?
Oh, definitely. Yes, definitely.
Bexar County investigators urge victims outside of Texas to call them.
The root of evilness is money, the love of money, and that's what happened here in this situation.
Patty Santos, KSAT 12 News.
And speaking of food trucks, the Shack is back after it disappeared earlier this week. The owner says it's been parked on the same spot next to Acadiana Cafe on the west side since the early 90s without any problems. However, that changed on Wednesday when it was stolen. The cafe said a Good Samaritan helped find the Shack. To show appreciation, it will give out complimentary gumbo on Sunday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. while supplies last. This is in Acadiana Cafe parking lot on Southwest Loop 410. In your morning headlines, student loan payments resumed in October, but some borrowers are still receiving inaccurate billing statements. That's according to a new report from the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. In addition to billing errors, borrowers are experiencing processing delays and long hold times. In response, Biden administration is punishing 3 of its 4 servicers. It's withholding more than $2 million from Advantage Ed Financial and Nelnet, saying the companies failed to meet their contractual obligations.
This is a terrifying situation. A flight had to make an emergency landing in Texas this week after a man assaulted a flight attendant. So it started with a passenger, and they were complaining that 61-year-old Keith Fagiana was kicking in their chair. After a flight attendant asked him to stop, he allegedly got up and punched the crew member in the stomach. Officials say the assault continued with additional punches while passengers helped restrain the suspect. Police say Fagiana was taken into custody where he claimed he had been drinking. Meanwhile, in your morning headlines, award season set to kick off tomorrow with the Golden Globe Awards, but organizers, they say they're taking extra precautions this year because of the war between Israel and the terrorist organization Hamas.
Officials say the Beverly Hills Police Department is working closely with the FBI because protesters are likely to show up near the Beverly Hilton where the event takes place.
Now, officials are concerned they may try to confront celebrities or even block roads leading to the venue that we've seen in recent weeks at airports. But right now, at this time, there are no specific threats mentioned.
UTSA will not create a new diversity, equity, and inclusion office. It's actually getting rid of the program altogether. It's part of a new law signed by Governor Greg Abbott to eliminate those offices from public universities across the state. So last month, UTSA said it would replace its DEI office with an office of campus and community belonging, which is compliant with the new law. But this week, UTSA said it wouldn't happen after all. UTSA says the office's responsibilities will be given to existing offices.
All right, big news for Texas A&M University San Antonio. They've hired a women's basketball coach, Chris Meaner. Now, he spent some of his time at Texas A&M, Texarkana, Our Lady of the Lake University, and he has a pretty extensive resume. He says he's eager to get started launching the women's basketball program here in San Antonio and the expansion of A&M San Antonio sports program. It brings in new student athletes for the upcoming 24-25 school year. And Miner's overall record as a head coach at any level, look at this, it's actually really good. 460 wins, only 178 losses.
That is a good record.
Good for him. I'm excited for everything Texas A&M San Antonio is about to do.
Good luck, guys.
All right, time now, just about 9:10, 45 degrees.
Max, the true colors of Uranus and Neptune look more like previously thought.
I'm not even sure if you realized what you said when you said it. Taking a live look out of the Alamo City. It is 45 degrees out there. All right, we're seeing a little bit of cloud coverage. See the beautiful San Antonio skyline in the distance. We're going to check in with Sarah Spivey in just a few moments. All right, good morning and welcome back. The true colors of two planets may be more similar than previously thought. A team at University of Oxford, shout out to Oxford, used 2 different telescopes, including the Hubble telescope, to capture the new data. Now, that new data shows that Neptune and Uranus have a similar greenish blue hue.
Over 30 years ago, NASA's Voyager 2 mission flew by Uranus and Neptune, capturing the first close-up images at the time. So Uranus appeared to be a pale cyan color, while Neptune was depicted as a striking deep blue.
All right, so Neptune's images stretched, enhanced, made 2 artificially blue. So, I mean, look, love this. Hubble telescope, very awesome. It's still crazy to me how little we know about all of the other planets in our solar system.
It's cool.
It's cool. We're learning something new every day.
That planets that have atmospheres have weather.
Okay.
And Mars is one of the more fascinating planets, atmosphere, because at your feet it can be like 72 degrees, but at the top of your head it could be like 20 degrees. Ooh. That's how thin the atmosphere is on Mars. So pretty cool. Today, though, our atmosphere is going to be bringing us beautiful weather. Right now, outside, it is 44 degrees in San Antonio, so a cold start to the day, but we quickly are warming up. It's 36 in Kerrville, 42 in Hondo, 37 in Bulverde, and 42 in Canyon Lake. As we take a look at your KSAT 12-hour forecast, mostly sunny skies. By noon, we're going to be at 59. In the afternoon, 68 for the high. But don't get caught without the jacket tonight because it's going to get chilly fairly quickly. We'll be down to 51 degrees by 9 p.m. if you have evening plans outside this evening. One other thing to consider is that in the afternoon, the winds could be a little breezy. We could see wind gusts of up to 25 miles per hour this afternoon from the west. But that's just a preview of how windy it's going to get by Monday evening, upcoming Monday evening. We'll talk more about that in a bit, but here's a look at some highs in neighborhoods. 66 in Canyon Lake, 71 Carrizo Springs, 71 in Del Rio, 60 in Rock Springs, 68 in Beeville, 64 in Gonzales. While it is quiet around San Antonio and most of Texas, there are some areas of snow across the panhandle of Texas. That's totally normal this time of year. They get snow just about every year out in the panhandle. But there's a big system working its way across the Northeast. This is going to be a lot of areas first decent snowfall in quite a while. Inches of snow expected from this system. While that is moving out of the way, another low pressure system is going to take its place. And this low pressure system is going to move through Texas Sunday and Monday. It'll bring us a brief opportunity for rain Sunday night and Monday morning. Sunday night we'll have some areas of drizzle, and Monday a small potential for a storm or two in the morning hours. But really that low pressure system is going to kick up the winds in a big way. So let's take you through the futurecast. As that low moves across Texas, again, a few showers are possible Sunday night into Monday morning, but the winds are going to be the big story. Winds will turn to the northwest, gusting up to 40 to 50 miles per hour. Not only here in San Antonio, but across the state of Texas. We'll experience the windiest conditions Monday night into Tuesday morning, when we could see wind gusts in San Antonio of 40 to 50 miles per hour. Similar story in the Hill Country. You can see that this particular model brings a 52 mile per hour wind gust through Kerrville and New Braunfels. By the early morning commute, still pretty gusty on Tuesday, but then by Tuesday afternoon, those winds will die down. So what do you need to know and what do you need to prepare for with the gusty winds? First thing, I would suggest putting up those Christmas decorations if you still have them out outside, and then securing lightweight patio furniture. That includes lighter trampolines, even some light carports. If they're not really secured, they could get tossed around by those gusty winds. Be mindful if you do have some tree limbs near power lines, it might be good to trim those. And then keep in mind that with mountain cedar season in full swing, anytime we get a gusty north wind, mountain cedar tends to increase this time of year. So take your allergy medicine now and get prepared for those gusty winds Monday night into Tuesday. As you can see, though, tomorrow's going to be a beautiful day in the 30s in the morning, comfortable in the afternoon tomorrow. Then we'll have that brief opportunity for rain, windy weather through Tuesday, nice on Wednesday and Thursday, but another front moves through Friday, and that sets up windier weather too on Friday as well. Coming up in the forecast, we're going to talk about some cold air could be on our way beyond this 7 days.
No, I'm good with that. We don't need the cold air.
Okay, Max. You'll just put your blinders on when I get to that point.
But it is amazing. I mean, I talked to family and friends on the East Coast. 70 and sunny, middle of January. This
really
awesome.
Nice, really nice.
Thank you. Time now, 9:18, 49 degrees.
Google wants to try something new to restrict cookies when you are using their browser. How they are doing that after the break.
Just be clear that it's cookies on the web, not actual cookies.
Too bad.
I know. All right, taking a look at these lotto numbers. Pick 3, 720, Fireball 2. Daily 4, 5382, Fireball 1.
Cash 5, 4, 8, 19, 20, 33. Where is it? There it is. Mega Millions 5, 23, 26, 38, 44. Mega Ball 25, Mega Player 3. Good luck.
Good morning and welcome back. Google rolling out a test that restricts cookies on the latest version of the Chrome browser. So those are the little programs that track you on the internet. And while you may see an ad for jeans just seconds after you search for them, instead of using cookies, Google has its own software tools designed to replace them. The company wants to get rid of cookies in Chrome by the end of 2024.
Did you ever have a BlackBerry phone?
I did not. I wasn't cool enough.
Okay. Well, if anyone...
Did you have a BlackBerry?
Yes, at one point I did. And for anyone who misses it, a company called Clicks for iPhone is out with a phone case that comes with a physical keyboard.
Interesting.
So it's compatible with an iPhone 14 and 15 models, runs off the phone's battery power, and will cost you, that's kind of expensive, under $140. That's, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Yeah, me too. We'll be right back.
In your morning health headline, San Antonio has received a gold medal for public health policies. That's according to City Health's rankings of public health policy. San Antonio was one of 7 cities across the country and the only city in Texas receiving the recognition. City Health reviews and awards the nation's 75 largest cities with gold, silver, bronze, or no medals for passing policies that improve the health and well-being of residents. This year, the gold medal recognition is an improvement from last year's overall bronze medal.
New data shows that respiratory viruses didn't take a break for the holidays. The CDC says COVID and flu activity, they're increasing in most of the country. Hospitalizations for both COVID and the flu, both surging last week compared to the week before. Now, the agency, the CDC, says the JN1 variant now accounts for most of new COVID infections. The agency added that the best way to protect yourself, getting the vaccine.
South Texas Blood and Tissue Center urging donors of all blood types to give blood, as this holiday season has made it challenging to meet patients' needs. People who give blood or platelets in January will receive a I donated t-shirt to track life-saving contributions. Those interested in donating can call number 210-731-5590 to make an appointment or visit southtexasblood.org.
And it really is such an important initiative. We're actually going to be there out South Texas Blood and Tissue on Monday.
Awesome.
And talk about the new facilities and the urgent need.
Absolutely.
All right, time now, 9:27, 46 degrees.
We'll be right back.
Good morning, welcome back, and happy Saturday. It is 9:30 this morning. It is January 6th. Thank you so much for starting your morning with us.
Good morning.
We're starting off cold.
It is cold.
But look at this. Already 46 degrees, so we're moving on up.
Starting to warm up.
And for so many of the families out and about today, we know hopefully some family-friendly fun, because for a lot of them, this is their last weekend of winter break.
Yeah, I know some went back earlier this week, but some have off until Monday, so cherish it.
It's true.
Really make, the best out of it. Go outside, Sarah, today. Beautiful day.
A gorgeous day in San Antonio. You will have to contend with the mountain cedar, though. We are in the middle of mountain cedar season. Mountain cedar season technically peaks in mid-January. Mountain cedar is high, past 4,000. Molds are low. Now, we started off the day at 37 degrees, so we're already almost 10 degrees warmer than that in San Antonio. It's 40 in Del Rio, 43 in Uvalde. Good morning, Rock Springs, where it's 48 degrees, 49 in Pleasanton, 46 in New Braunfels, and 37 in Kerrville. A quick warm up, 59 at noon, 68 for the high temperature today, and a little breezy in the afternoon. A great day to head out to some of our many local area state parks. Enchanted Rock, 62 sunny degrees, Government Canyon, 68, 66 Hill Country State Natural Area. Again, just a little breezy with those winds from the west-northwest at about 10 to 15 miles per hour. So all in all, a nice weekend of weather for us. But by Monday morning, it will be a little damp. We'll talk about that. And I want to focus on our very windy forecast for Monday and Tuesday, plus a preview even beyond the next 7 days to the next big thing, a cold snap possible in San Antonio. Details coming up.
Thank you, Sarah. As we talked about, a lot of families out and about this weekend. So before you head out the roadways, there are some important closures that you and your family should know about.
Traffic Authority RJ Marquez tells us what you need to know before you head out.
Well, it's going to be another very busy weekend for our drivers on the far northwest side. We're going to continue on with that construction that's been taking place out there for months on 1604. So this is going to be a little bit of a different type of construction. Let's zoom into our maps and show you exactly what we're going to be looking at here. This is going to be a full weekend closure, and it's only going to be part of Vance Jackson Drive. So you can see right there, Vance Jackson Road, we're going to have north and southbound. That's going to be shut down while construction crews work on some of the bridges over 1604. 1604. So we're also going to have some detours taking place that go from Lock Hill Selma Road all the way to I-10. We have some drone video that we've got shot over the past couple of months or so, kind of give you an indication of what we're looking at, the construction out there. On top of the full closure of Vance Jackson against north and southbound lanes there, Vance Jackson, there will also be the closure of the Lock Hill Selma exit ramp to the frontage road at I-10. That intersection right there, that entrance ramp westbound from Lock Hill Selma Road will be fully closed, as well as crews continue to work on that big expansion project taking place there at 1604. All right, let's bring us back out to our maps. Again, one more look here, exactly what we're looking at. Full weekend closure. This is going to start tonight at 9 p.m. and run through Monday, 5 a.m. So of course, this is all weather permitting. We'll continue to give you more updates on KSAT.com and also on air if anything else changes. But again, northbound, southbound, Vance Jackson on the far northwest side, that's going to be closed all this weekend. Have a good one, everybody.
Thank you, RJ. Is there another suspect? San Antonio Police Chief William McManus says maybe.
We're talking about the murder case of Savannah Soto, Matthew Guerra, and their unborn child. This update comes after yesterday's press conference where the chief also revealed the weapon used in their murder was found at the suspect's home.
All right, so this is what we know right now. San Antonio police arresting Christopher Preciado and his father Ramon back on Wednesday. Thursday, SAPD filed an additional charge against the son for abuse of a corpse and then an additional charge against the father for altering a corpse. Both men remain at Bexar County Jail.
This is the surveillance video that ultimately led to their arrest. Chief McManus did confirm investigators are looking into this portion of the video. Look at your screen right now, which appears to show a towel tossed into the hands of Ramon Preciado, presumably by a person inside his truck. This is what the chief had to say when asked about a potential third suspect.
That's something we're still looking into. It's something that's been brought up in conversation about this, so we're still looking into that.
So that could potentially be a third suspect or someone that was there while the bodies were dropped off at the apartment.
As the investigation continues, it could be. I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying it is possible.
Now, KSAT spoke to the father of Matthew Guerra back on Thursday. He alluded that this case is not over and that more developments could be on the way.
I'm not going to say anything right now, but I don't think there's I don't think this is the end of it right now.
Obviously, we will be staying on top of this story for any new developments in case they surface, so make sure to stay with us on air and online for those updates.
This morning, a family hurting after the loss of a 6-year-old little girl, Hosanna Sancho. Hosanna was murdered earlier this week by her mother. She was found unresponsive at an apartment complex on Watson Road with an injury to her torso. These are images shared with us by her uncle. He says he and the rest of the family still struggling to adjust to their new normal.
When my niece and nephew found Hosanna murdered and lying on the floor dead, obviously for them, this is a moment in time that they are going to remember for the rest of their lives. We're absolutely heartbroken at the loss of our lovely and amazing Hosanna.
Police arrested Hosanna's mother, this woman, Nepeteria Sancho, for the child's death. She is now facing a capital murder charge for a child under the age of 10, and a vigil will be held this weekend for Hosanna. It's happening tomorrow at Woodlawn Park. We'll have those details posted on our website, KSAT.com.
Well, San Antonio police officer fired after being investigated for allegedly groping a woman and then damaging her son's home in New Braunfels over the summer. So according to records obtained by KSAT Investigates, Officer Jeremias Duque Jr. was terminated in late November, months after the alleged July incident. Now, Duque was off duty when he allegedly put his hand on the breast of a homeowner's mother during a party. After being confronted by a witness about the incident, Duque allegedly stated he could, quote, do whatever he wanted, end quote. Now, a physical altercation broke out between Duque and the woman's son. Witnesses pulling the two men apart, and according to records, Duque then broke a window trying to force his way back into the house. According to Braunfels police, Duque was seriously intoxicated, later cursing at staff in an area emergency room. He was not arrested since both the woman and the homeowner declined to pursue criminal charges.
Deputies with the Hays County Sheriff Office are on administrative leave after they shot and killed a man Friday morning. So this happened during a 911 response call for a physical disturbance. A caller stated the suspect was trying to kick in the front door of a home and had 2 knives. Hays County deputies showed up to the scene. They say they demanded the suspect drop the knives, but he didn't comply. At some point, Hays County deputies fired shots, killing that man. He died at the scene. Both the Hays County Sheriff's Office and Texas Rangers are investigating this.
In a 2-week span, 5 San Antonio police officers were hospitalized due to shootings between themselves and repeat offenders.
The violent string of shootings took place this past fall and sparked arguments between the Bexar County DA and the police chief on who was to blame.
John Paul Barajas reports city and county leaders, they have released a joint action plan to try to improve our public safety.
A city-county action plan is a much-needed step in the right direction to keeping violent repeat offenders off the streets, according to Bexar County Judge Peter Sakai.
We definitely have improved communication, we've improved coordination, and we've improved collaboration.
The plan highlighting working together. Many bullet points stating agencies will share more information whenever a high-profile individual is released and to prevent felony offenders from being released. It also states enhancing information between arresting officers, the DA's office, and the magistrate judge.
Is that not something that should have already been happening?
Well, what we found out through this process is that there was a breakdown in communication. The arresting officers would not necessarily get before the magistrates.
Judge Sakai adds communication between officers and magistrate judges will improve the chances of denying bail to violent offenders.
Everybody was working hard on these issues, but they really weren't working together or communicating effectively.
Judge Sakai explains another issue they had to deal with. The DA's office and SAPD software for sharing information wasn't compatible, but adds they have since bought equipment to make things more efficient for both sides.
Judge Sakai tells us he hopes to have reports on the collaboration between all the agencies and how it's going in the near future, but did not have an exact timeline on when that would be. John Paul Barajas, KSAT 12 News.
In your morning headlines, this past week we have been learning more and more about Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell as formerly sealed documents have started to become released.
ABC senior investigative correspondent Aaron Katursky has the details.
This morning, newly unsealed emails show Ghislaine Maxwell's harried reaction after Virginia Giuffre first alleged in 2014 that Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein forced her to have sex with Prince Andrew and other prominent men. Prince Andrew has denied Giuffre's allegations. The two settled a lawsuit in 2022 with no admission of wrongdoing. The messages show Maxwell struggled with what to say publicly. Writing to her lawyer and publicist, "I am trying to stay out of litigation and not have to employ lawyers for years as I get lost in U.S. legal nightmare." Maxwell's representatives had already issued a brief statement calling the claims untrue and obvious lies, and the emails show she worried issuing a further public response would only lead to questions about her connections to famous men. Writing, "Statements that don't address all just lead to more questions. What is my relationship to Clinton, Andrew, on and on." But the emails show Maxwell's lawyer telling her, "We can't sit back and let you be a conspirator by silence. I know what is right to do, and that is to shout your innocence. Saying nothing is reputational suicide." And he advised her not to concern herself with Epstein, who might have his own reasons to stay silent, writing, "I can see why J.E. doesn't want this, as it may not suit him, but he is already toast." Yet the newly unsealed documents show Maxwell was emailing with Epstein, who asked her, "What did you decide to do?" Later, he suggested ask press to investigate whether Clinton was ever there. Giuffre had claimed to have met Bill Clinton on Epstein's island, something Clinton and Maxwell denied. Maxwell decided against saying anything more, but she had already said too much. Giuffre filed a defamation lawsuit, which the two women settled in 2017, the very lawsuit where all these newly unsealed documents originated.
That was ABC's Aaron Katursky reporting. Time now, 9:42, 46 degrees.
Let's take a look outside with live cam. Shaping up to be a beautiful day. The sun is out, super clear skies, 46 degrees. Sarah Spivey says this is going to be a beautiful day to get out, enjoy, maybe take down some of those Christmas decorations outside. She'll have our forecast when we come back.
Good morning, welcome back, and happy weekend. You guys both enjoying the sweater weather?
We are. Take a look at this.
Sweater weather.
Sweater weather. Yeah, it
doesn't happen often here in San Antonio.
It doesn't, so we got to take advantage of it, right? It's cold.
Get your sweater, Max.
I'm okay.
Oh, come on, Max.
Maybe one day, but not today.
Cardigan guy, big cardigan guy.
I could tell. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the weather headlines. Nice this weekend. Here's a look outside right now. We started off at 37 degrees. We're already about 10 degrees warmer than that outside right now. It's 51 in Pleasanton, 40 in Del Rio, 50 in Cotulla, 46 in New Braunfels, 40 in Kerrville. Sunshine today, 59 by noon. And then in the afternoon, it will be a little breezy. Keep that in mind. We'll have winds from the west-northwest at 15, 20 miles per hour, gusting up to 25 possible, 68 for the high. So a 30-degree jump from the start of the day to the afternoon. Don't forget the sweaters tonight, though, because it is going to get chilly if you have Saturday night plans. Temperatures will be falling into the upper 40s by midnight. Then our attention turns to little damp weather early on Monday morning. We've got a low pressure system that's going to be moving through Texas Sunday and Monday. First, bringing us some areas of drizzle and light rain Saturday night into Sunday. Perhaps even a storm east of I-35 as a front moves through. That's where storms are going to be possible, maybe even some severe weather as well. We'll keep an eye on that for you. But the biggest impact to your day from this system is going to be the winds. Winds are going to become very gusty Monday night and Tuesday morning. Here's a look at the futurecast wind gusts. Monday afternoon, we'll start to see them pick up behind that front. Then by Monday night into Tuesday morning, we could see wind gusts of up to 50 miles per hour in some spots around south central Texas and the hill country. That could easily knock around some lightweight patio furniture, even some trampolines if you have the smaller trampolines, or perhaps even if your carport is not secured, lightweight carports could get knocked around by winds that high too. But by the afternoon on Tuesday, those winds will be subsiding. So to quickly go over the 7-day forecast here, cold tomorrow morning with a high of 65. Then drizzle will be possible Sunday night into Monday with an isolated storm. That front moves through, it becomes very windy and with gusts up to 40 to 50 miles per hour on Tuesday through Wednesday and Thursday. It'll be nice though, and then windy again on Friday. That's the 7-day forecast, but I want to, whoa, I disappeared there. That's the 7-day forecast, but I want to give you a quick look at the future. Here's a look at Canada's temperatures right now, 20 below zero in some places up there in northern Canada. All of this cold air is going to be surging south. This is our next thing that we're looking for just beyond the 7-day forecast. That cold Arctic air is going to settle across the nation and even spill into parts of Texas, so that by this time next week, we could have some of our coldest air of the season in San Antonio. Not really concerned too much about ice at the moment, but it's something we'll keep an eye on. Otherwise, again, the forecast looks great over the next several days. Just a few things to watch out for. The very gusty winds Monday and Tuesday. Cold mornings, comfortable afternoons for us.
All right.
Are you going to be okay with these cold temps?
Yeah, I'll get out a sweater. I do want to give a shout out to all of our loyal viewers who have been reaching out on social media. They love the sweaters.
Thank you, guys.
Sweater weather
They
celebrating.
think that you should also wear a cardigan.
There has been no advocating for a cardigan, but they're not talking about your earrings enough.
Oh, I love these earrings.
Yeah.
Stephanie Cerna actually gave them to me. They're little storms here, so they're really cute. I like them a lot.
Big fan.
Thank you so much, everyone, for your kind words. Yeah, it's not so often that we get to wear sweaters here.
We're embracing it.
We are.
There, time now, 9:50, just about 50 degrees.
If you're looking to buy appliances or just want to treat yourself to something new, January deals, they're here and in stores. We'll tell you all about them after the break.
And like we've been saying, we know a lot of families out and about this weekend. Oof, take a look out at the roadways. A lot of people hitting the roads early this morning. It appears it is smooth sailing so far. If anything does pop up, we will keep you posted.
Let's take a look at these lotto numbers. Pick 3, 720, Fireball 2, Daily 4, 5382, Fireball 1.
Cash 5, 4, 8, 19, 20, 33. A lot of people I've been seeing getting lucky with the scratch-offs.
Yeah.
Are you a scratch-off person?
I have no luck with scratch-offs.
Okay. Well, maybe you have some luck with the Mega Millions. Here are the numbers: 5, 23, 26, 38, 44. Big number 25, Mega Player 3. Good luck. We'll be right back.
After you ring in the new year, you can ring up some deals.
It's no surprise that the start of the year brings sales on items like fitness trackers, treadmills, and ellipticals. But also keep in mind that Martin Luther King Jr. Day falls in January, and this usually means big deals around mattresses.
Expect more mattress sales in a couple of weeks, but right now, the Casper Original Foam Mattress is $1,100 for a queen size at Walmart and Best Buy. That's $200 saved. Consumer Reports tracks prices on its top-rated products all year and found some deep discounts right now, like new sheets for that new mattress. These microfiber sheets from Milani are $32.85 on Amazon. As we get halfway into January, look for super deals for the big game.
With the Super Bowl coming up, a lot of TV manufacturers and retailers have big sales on TVs. So if you're looking for a new set to watch the big game, you're in luck.
Right now, this 55-inch Samsung OLED TV is $18.98 at Amazon. This 4K OLED is among the best TVs Consumer Report says it's ever tested. And don't forget about the sound. This soundbar from Samsung is less than $500 at Apt Electronics, Amazon, and Walmart. That's $80 saved. It comes with a wireless subwoofer.
January is also a good time to find a deal on a humidifier to help with the dry winter weather and to find a deal on a treadmill to help with those resolutions. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
Time now, just about 9:56, 49 degrees.
We'll be right back.
Mountain cedar is high in today's pollen count. No surprise there. We're in the middle of mountain cedar season. Molds are low. Looking at this weekend's forecast, nice this afternoon, 68, a little breezy. Then we'll have a chilly morning tomorrow morning in the upper 30s, 65 for the high. Breezy tomorrow as well. Overnight, Sunday into Monday, though, I expect some drizzle to develop. That'll lead to a chance for an isolated thunderstorm early on Monday. That's all before a front moves through. Then that front is going to make it very windy. We'll see gusts of up to 40 to 50 miles per hour Monday into Tuesday. Cool on Tuesday and Wednesday. Warming up on Friday, but a cold front will move through on Friday. Warming up on Thursday, but a cold front will move through on Friday, making it windy once again. So a pretty windy week. Make sure to secure all that lightweight patio furniture. If you have tree limbs near power lines, you might want to trim those too, just in case.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you, Sarah. All right, so this is the last weekend of the NFL regular season. Cowboys don't play today, but pretty sure the Texans play today. And this is a huge game because they can make it to the playoffs. Remember, last year they were one of the worst teams in the league.
You think they actually can?
I think they can.
Okay, and then the Cowboys?
Cowboys are locked in for the playoffs.
Yes, but do you think they're
tomorrow, I think they're going to win because they're playing the Commanders, who won a top 2 pick. So they want to lose.
Hey, you called it last. You said the Cowboys, but you said it was a blowout.
This has been ESPN on GMSA.
Have a great rest of your day.
Y'all have a great Saturday. See you back here tomorrow.
Live from KSAT 12, the Night Beat starts right now.
It's insane. It's risky behavior, and we're just not going to tolerate it here in San Antonio.
A stern warning from San Antonio's police chief following the arrest of 4 teens after police and DPS busted a street takeover event.
Yeah, that's when people block off an intersection to do dangerous stunts with their cars. As the chief tells our Night Beat's Daniela Ibarra, authorities knew that group was coming.
A stolen car wrecked out just after midnight at a QT on the north side. San Antonio police say covert units had been tracking it for miles. Those units, along with DPS, surveilled a street takeover on the west side, just north of Castroville Road and General McMullen.
We knew, and again, there's different ways that we receive intelligence that they're coming. And last night we knew.
Chief Willie McManus says street takeovers are a major safety threat.
It's a dangerous, foolish, reckless thing to do on public streets. Or in parking lots, wherever it may be.
McManus says new laws helped police impound 3 cars, all belonging to people charged with street racing.
We are going to take your car, and you're not going to get it back, not to mention that you will be arrested.
And the danger of street takeovers goes beyond the road.
It's dangerous. I mean, it's very, very dangerous. People drinking, carrying guns, some of the cars that we recover are stolen.
Stolen cars like the one that crashed at the QT. Before the crash, police say they watched someone get out of the car with a weapon and mask and go into another store. That's when police say they started following the car and watched someone toss a handgun out the window. Police arrested 4 people between the ages of 14 and 18. The teens faced several charges, including evading arrest with a vehicle. Police also recovered 3 weapons, one of which is stolen. McManus hopes this sting serves as a warning to street racers.
Don't come back, and if you do it at your own peril. We're going to take your car, and you're not going to get it back.
Danielle Ibarra, KSAT 12 News.
San Antonio police also investigating an apartment shooting that sent a 22-year-old man to the hospital. It happened just before midnight at a complex on Starcrest Drive, not far from Perrin Bynum and Loop 410. Police say the man got into an argument with a woman earlier Friday night, and then later on she came back to find him and started shooting at him through a door to his apartment. Investigators say that woman still on the run tonight. The man who was shot is expected to recover.
SAPD also investigating a shooting between a man and an attempted robber inside the Purple Dragon cannabis shop. This happened just after 3 this morning at the store in the 500 block of West Hildebrand. Police say the suspect went into the store and opened fire on the employee, who then pulled out a gun of their own and fired back. Both were hit and were taken to nearby hospitals. At last check, the suspect was in critical condition.
The search is on to find the next director of San Antonio's Animal Care Services. 2023 saw an increase in severe dog attacks and a larger stray animal population. Now residents say they want to see more out of the department. KSAT Team's Avery Everett shows us the city is now accepting applications, and some neighbors hope the candidates are cut out to bring change.
It's more than a crisis.
Driving down the west side, dogs are just about on every corner.
It's just an awful situation.
Some have owners, others are strays.
This has been a hard year, but it's time for an intervention.
In a new year, neighbors say they're dealing with old problems.
The city of San Antonio has a culture of not spaying and neutering, which has created a incident of just a mass amount of dogs running loose.
But now, the search is on to find the new head of Animal Care Services in San Antonio.
I want us to get in the front lines to curtail all this overpopulation of unwanted.
The new year will bring a new director to ACS, and applications for that position are now open. But after a year of multiple dog attacks and high stray counts across the city, animal advocates say this city is ready to see something new.
We need somebody that has done a city before, as big as San Antonio, if not larger, has cleaned that city up, and now we need that person to come in and clean our city up. They have the solutions, we need them.
On the city's application page, the job description emphasizes a need for improving current procedures and developing a strategy that fits San Antonio. We reached out to ACS earlier this week and have yet to hear back over email.
We've definitely seen it.
Just a few weeks ago, we spoke to the current director, Shannon Sims, recapping 2023. He says education and enforcement should always be top of mind.
If I could have every single animal owner in San Antonio do one thing, it's keep your animal on your property.
Sims still has a couple of months left as director. Animal advocates in San Antonio say they're hoping the city considers a wide range of applicants. Because as they see it, strays and animals not being spayed or neutered won't go away.
San Antonio is not a good place for animals. In reality, it isn't. There's so much neglect.
Unless there's new action in this new year. Avery Everett, KSAT 12 News.
And we first spoke to some of the people in Avery's story during our Know My Neighborhood series on Dignowity Hill. In that series, we talked about the stray animal issue on the east side. If you think your neighborhood should be featured in an upcoming episode, you can find details on how to submit your idea by scanning the code on your screen.
What a gorgeous day around San Antonio today. We started off cold, but it ended up being really nice with a high in the upper 60s. We're back to the chill again, but not before I got some beautiful pictures in about the sunset this evening. I'd love to share some of those with you. Here's a look at one of those pictures. This is over Bronig Lake. Thank you to everyone sending in these pictures. This is from Taylor McClelland on our KSAT Connect feature on our weather app. Love this one. Can it get more Texas than this? Cross Mountain, Texas. This is Canyons at Scenic Loop, and and then love that pup there in the middle there at Phil Hardberger Park. All right, tomorrow we're going to wake up at 37, but it's going to be breezy and 65, another gorgeous day. Then the changes start. Somewhat damp Monday morning. We'll talk about those rain chances. Very windy Monday and Tuesday, gusts of up to 50 miles per hour, and I've even got my eye on some Arctic air soon. Those details coming up.
Thank you, Sarah. Now for a look at some of today's big headlines in your Night Beat News Flash. Former President Donald Trump marked the third anniversary of the January 6th Capitol riot by casting the migrant surge at the border as the, quote, real insurrection. With a little more than a week left until the Iowa caucuses, Trump rallied supporters in the Hawkeye state with his claims that countries have emptied jails and mental institutions to fuel a record surge in migrant crossing, something that has no evidence of being true. Israel and Hezbollah terrorists are trading heavy cross-border fire. The latest shelling comes a day after Hezbollah's leader urged retaliation for the targeted killing of a top Hamas leader in Lebanon's capital earlier this week. Meanwhile, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken is starting his fourth trip to the Middle East in just 3 months in hopes of preventing further regional confrontation. And 50 million Americans are under winter weather alerts from coast to coast. Up to 6 inches of snow falling in some parts of the Northeast, while another major storm barrels towards the Pacific Northwest. Heavy rainfall was also reported up and down the I-95 corridor south of New York City down to D.C. And that is a look at your Night Beat News Flash.
Still to come on the Night Beat, nearly 2 weeks ago, a clear alert was sent out to Texans asking them to be on the lookout for Savannah Soto and her boyfriend, Matthew Guerra. In about 30 minutes, we learn more about how the clear system works and what it takes for one to be sent out. Plus, a concerned community, neighbors on edge over fires burning in a nearby scrapyard. An update on our Monterey iron, metal, and recycling coverage and what's being done to put those neighbors' fears to rest.
And getting grounded, more than 150 Boeing 737 MAX planes are no longer clear for takeoff after a cabin door blew off a plane over the Pacific Northwest yesterday. How long they'll stay out of the skies and how it could affect people flying here out of San Antonio. That's next on the Night Beat.
The Federal Aviation Administration is temporarily grounding some Boeing 737 MAX 9 airplanes after an Alaska Airlines flight lost a part of its window and wall while in midair. The plane had to make an emergency landing, and thankfully everyone made it out of that plane unharmed. ABC's Zoreen Shaw reports on the near disaster.
A frightening moment for passengers. An Alaskan Airlines flight flying with a section of its fuselage missing mid-air.
Something rushed into the cabin and then rushed out.
Shortly after Flight 1282 took off from Portland International Airport bound for Ontario, California, an emergency in the air. A large hole developed in the fuselage, causing cabin depressurization, forcing the pilots to turn around with 171 passengers and 6 crew members on board. Oxygen masks were immediately lowered. Passengers recorded that part of the plane was suddenly gone.
We are emergency. We are depressurized. We do need to return back to. We have 177 passengers.
Passengers say they were terrified.
In the moment, a lot of tears. I just didn't know what was going on. And I just feel the plane drop. And it wasn't like any other turbulence just because the masks had came down too. So that's when I knew, like, oh gosh, this is something way different. And yeah, I started freaking out.
The plane landed safely in Portland with no injuries reported. The airline telling ABC News, the safety of our guests and employees is always our primary priority. So while this type of occurrence is rare, our flight crew was trained and prepared to safely manage the situation. A team from the NTSB will be looking into what caused this incident.
One of the questions here for the investigators is going to be, was that a mechanical failure or was that some failure in maintenance?
The FAA says about 170 Boeing 737 MAX 9 planes operated by U.S.-based airlines will be grounded. Alaska Airlines had already taken the precautionary step of grounding its 65 737 MAX. All the planes will be inspected before they can return to service. Zoreen Shah, ABC News, Los Angeles.
We checked, and right now only one daily flight out of San Antonio International has been affected. That is the daily Alaskan Airlines flight to Seattle, which is typically flown in a Boeing 737 MAX.
Well, if you saw a convoy of cars escorted by police on I-35 today, those hot rods were up to some good. Wheels and Wishes rides to benefit St. Jude's Children's Hospital. They do these kinds of rides back and forth between the Alamo City and Austin a few times a year. And everyone who rode on that escort donated a minimum of $20 to ride for a good cause. And I know that we spoke to them, and with all of these street takeovers, they want people to know that that's not them. Yeah, that's not them.
Beautiful weather to be out riding around in a car and a bike, taking a walk, doing anything. Gorgeous weather.
Absolutely, and sweater weather in the morning, right?
Yay.
You know, tonight temperatures have cooled down from the afternoon high. Here's a look at the time lapse in the almanac for the day today. Gorgeous mix of sun and clouds. We started off at 37. We topped off at 67. That, my friends, is a 30-degree jump from the start of the day to the afternoon. And guess what? We're going to do it all again tomorrow. Here's a look at your KSAT 12-hour forecast. Waking up at 37 degrees in the early morning hours tomorrow. There could even be a very light freeze up in the hill country. Normal this time of year. Otherwise, we're going to warm up quickly. 50 by 10. Noon will be at 59 and mostly sunny. In the afternoon, you'll notice that the winds are going to pick up from the southeast, sustained at about 15 miles per hour, but we'll see a few gusts of up to 25 to 30 miles per hour. So a bit of a breeze outside. But when we talk about a wind gust of 30 miles per hour, that is nothing compared to the winds we're going to be seeing on Monday and Tuesday. 65 for the high in San Antonio. It'll be 64 in New Braunfels, 68 in Del Rio, 60 in Rock Springs, 71 in Cotulla, 68 in Beeville, and 69 in Pleasanton. So what's up with the weather? What do you need to know? By Monday, it is going to be somewhat damp in the morning hours. We've got a brief opportunity, a brief window for rain. But by Monday afternoon into Tuesday, it's going to get very windy. And then finally, we'll talk about some Arctic air, at least some good signs that we're going to be seeing some Arctic air very soon. Weather setup for you. Big system off across the Northeast, bringing snowfall. Some of these areas in the Northeast getting their first decent snow in about a year and a half, 2 years. Meanwhile, off to the west, there's another system in its wake. This is the system that's going to be bringing us gusty winds on Monday and Tuesday. First, though, we'll see an opportunity for rain early on Monday morning. You can see in San Antonio, we'll see a few isolated showers, some areas of drizzle, perhaps even a rumble of thunder. But the biggest impact from this system is going to be the winds. Take a look at wind gusts across the state of Texas. By Monday evening, we'll see wind gusts of up to 40 to 50 miles per hour. Not only all across the state of Texas, but also right here in San Antonio. Potential wind gusts of 40 to 50 miles per hour Monday night into Tuesday. By the morning commute, it's still going to be breezy on Tuesday. But by Tuesday afternoon, those winds will subside. So what can you do tomorrow to prepare for the gusty winds on Monday and Tuesday? First, secure that lightweight patio furniture. Even lighter trampolines and lightweight carports that are not really firmly anchored to the ground could end up getting knocked around. And by the way, I did this today. I put up my Christmas decorations, put away my Christmas decorations. So if you have those, put those away too. Trees, trim those trees near power lines just in case you get one of those stronger gusts of wind. And then finally, I have to remind you that we're in the middle of mountain cedar season. So anytime we get a gusty wind from the northwest, cedar is likely to increase. So after that front moves through with that opportunity for rain early on Monday, it'll be windy on Tuesday, but high of 59. Nice on Wednesday and Thursday. Then by Friday, it's going to get pretty windy as well behind a front. Then I want to talk about what we are watching. We're watching how Arctic air will likely spill across the United States. The first Arctic air of the season. It could enter into San Antonio the week of January 15th. So not this next week, but the following week. What would the issue be for us? A brief hard freeze. We're not talking about prolonged cold. So that's some good news. And I do not see any signals that would suggest ice or wintry precipitation. Just our usual hard freeze, first hard freeze of the season.
Good to know. At least we can plan ahead.
Absolutely.
I know you guys have it on the app.
In the meantime, hold on to your cowboy hats on Tuesday. They might blow off your head. But if you're a Texans fan, you might have been throwing your cowboy hats up into the air tonight after they clinched a spot in the playoffs.
Yes, a thrilling game and a win or go home game. Rookie C.J. Stroud and Nico Collins answered the call. The Houston Texans are playoff bound for the first time since 2019 thanks to their big win over the Colts tonight. The top high school football prospects across the country and in San Antonio took the turf inside of the Alamo Dome today. We'll relive the action coming up after the break.
Football coverage brought to you by Davis Law Firm.
Many people say the playoffs really begin week 18, and it's hard to disagree when we have a win or go home game between the Texans and Colts. First play of the game for Houston. CJ Stroud launches a deep ball down the middle to Nico Collins. Collins gets in for an explosive 75-yard touchdown. Texans lead 7-3. Second quarter, the lethal duo generates another big play. Collins racks up the yak off the screen, and the Texans find pay dirt soon after as CJ Stroud hits Andrew Beck for a 1-yard TD strike in the back of the end zone. Houston goes into halftime up 14-3. The Colts came out of the intermission with a much better feel for the game after forcing a Houston punt. Jonathan Taylor makes a house call from 49 yards out. The Colts' 2-point conversion was a success, so we are all square. A couple of field goals later, 17-17. Devin Singletary caps off the Texans' drive in the fourth quarter with a 3-yard touchdown, though the PAT is no good. So with a minute left, Colts go for it on 4th and 1, down 6, and Tyler Goodson can't make the catch, and that seals the deal. The Texans improved to 10-7, defeating the Colts 23-19, clinching a playoff berth in DeMeco Ryans' first season as head coach. Stroud finished with 264 yards, 2 passing touchdowns. Nico Collins went a perfect 9 for 9 for 195 yards. So time now to root for the Titans over Jacksonville tomorrow for the AFC South title. The only other NFL game today, the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Lamarless Baltimore Ravens. Ravens already have the top spot in the AFC locked up, so Tyler Huntley got the start, and Steelers QB Mason Rudolph led the way to victory for Pittsburgh. Their postseason fate is now in the hands of other teams as they did all they could do with the win. The temperature at kickoff for tomorrow's Cowboys-Commanders game is supposed to be 49 degrees, but tonight, very rainy and cold. This evening, Larry Ramirez and photog Billy Caldera are in Maryland trying to stay warm, with more on the Week 18 tilt that has huge playoff implications.
Yeah, thank you, Mary, and good evening, everybody. Welcome to College Park, Maryland, where the Dallas Cowboys will stay the night before they close out the regular season tomorrow afternoon at the Washington Commanders, and then things really get exciting with the NFL playoffs. All right, led by head coach Mike McCarthy, the Cowboys flew in today, and they arrived at their team hotel around 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. The math is simple for the boys: beat the Commanders, win the NFC East, grab the 2 seed behind the 49ers, and guarantee them at least 2 home playoff games, assuming the Cowboys win in the wild card round. Linebacker Micah Parsons was asked, how do you balance what's on the line Sunday without overthinking it?
I mean, it should really just be the same. I mean, really, if you think about from week 1, you playing for the division, you playing for playoff hopes, you playing for Super Bowl hopes. So I really don't think anything has changed. We're playing for the same thing we've been playing since week 1. So mentality or anything else should not be different. At least for me, I'm treating this the same game as I would treat the Rams when we played the Seahawks. It's all fighting for the division, but now that, we might have the lead or whatever it may be, it doesn't change that we need to go out here and get a division win.
Quarterback Dak Prescott says he's treating this like a playoff game. We'll have more Cowboys Commanders tomorrow night live on Instant Replay. Mary, back to you in San Antonio.
Thank you, Larry. Looks so cold. Kickoff is at 3:25. The Cowboys are 13-point favorites, but with so much riding on this game, I'm sure Dallas can't help but feel the pressure. Like Larry said, we'll have full coverage from the action on Instant Replay. All right, a full week of practices in San Antonio led us to the official kickoff of the 2024 All-American Bowl. 100 highly touted prospects in the nation wrapping up their high school football careers in a high-profile ball game inside of the Alamo Dome. James Peoples, a 4-star recruit signed with Ohio State, representing Veterans Memorial on the East team. It's East versus West. Peoples rushed twice for 2 yards and caught 1 pass for 4 yards for the East team. There were many many highlight plays to come out of the afternoon. One day we'll look back at some of them when they're playing in the NFL. West won the game 31-28. And like others with their respective teams, Peoples will next join the Buckeyes football team. The San Antonio All-Star Game followed for another display of great football talent in the Alamo Dome, featuring over 100 senior standouts from the area, including John Jay QB Jackson Gutierrez, the Navy commit, who throws a beautiful ball off his back foot to East Central's Austin Vivier for the touchdown. Team Gold got on the board before halftime as Warren's Antonio Meza hits King Johnson in the back of the end zone. What an incredible catch, and it's Team Gold scoring the rest of the way for the All-Star Game victory, 25-7. All right, coming up later in the show, we'll preview tomorrow's clash between the 5-29 Spurs and 20-15 Cavaliers.
Facing the guys from the land. We'll look forward to that.
We'll be right back. This father and son were arrested in the Savannah Soto and Matthew Guerra death investigation on Wednesday night.
But before their bodies were found back on December 26th, a clear alert was issued to help find Soto.
The night team's Patty Santos digs into the history of the clear system and why an alert to find Soto wasn't issued sooner.
On Friday, December 23rd, Leon Valley Police say they got a welfare check request from the family of Savannah Soto. The expectant mother and her boyfriend, Matthew Guerra, were last seen on the previous afternoon at their Grissom Road apartment in a gray Kia. On Sunday, December 24th, Leon Valley Police told KSAT there was not a missing persons report and that there was no cause for concern. But the next day, on Christmas, Leon Valley Police issued a clear alert for Soto through the Texas Department of Public Safety. Today, we asked Leon Valley Police Chief David Gonzalez why the clear alert wasn't issued sooner. He declined our request for an on-camera interview. He did say that initially detectives were sorting out all the information they were receiving to determine what could be going on with the couple.
There has to be some indication that their disappearance was life-threatening and involuntary.
Allison Steele helped the clear alert become law in 2019, nearly 2 years after her daughter, Kaylee Mandati, was murdered.
The clear alert is like an Amber Alert for adults. It basically was developed to cover the gap between the Amber Alert for children and the Silver Alert for older people.
She says criteria for the clear alerts help ensure it's not overused and the public doesn't become desensitized.
There has to be less than 72 hours passed since they disappeared. So we're talking about fresh cases here.
In addition, a person must be between 18 and 64 years of age, and there has to be enough information to give to the public, like a suspect or vehicle information to help locate them. Steele says investigations have a lot of moving parts.
Outside of the law enforcement domain, sort of are left asking questions as to why it didn't go out sooner or why it didn't go out at all sometimes. But the thing to remember is we just don't know. These are active police investigations. So those of us, outside of those agencies don't really know what the evidence is on the table.
Patty Santos, KSAT 12 News.
Now let's take a turn here and think about, we did not have a white Christmas, but over here in Amarillo, they're having a white start to 2024 with the first winter storm. Look at that out there. That's beautiful. I didn't even see any snow when I was up in Ohio.
Is that beautiful, Tim? I don't know. We have different versions of beautiful.
Myself.
Our weather here is beautiful. And he's trying to convince himself that it'll be fine in Ohio.
I did enjoy wearing shorts today.
The viewing area there is expecting up to 6 inches. So I would say that's not like a light dusting.
No.
That's a decent snowfall. And
That
that same system that is bringing them snow brought us really nice weather here in San Antonio today. So the tale of two seasons. Outside right now with live cam, it's fairly quiet. But this was our view a little bit earlier. Outside, we had a great view of the sunset this evening. I asked for pictures, and this was out in New Braunfels. Gorgeous cotton candy skies there. Now, tomorrow we wake up at 37 degrees in San Antonio. Some of our viewing area will experience a light freeze early tomorrow morning. I'll show you those morning lows in just a bit. Otherwise, it's going to be a breezy and beautiful day. A high of 65. But after tomorrow, things really start to change for us because by Monday, we could have some areas of rain, especially in the morning. And then by Monday evening, it's going to get very windy. Wind gusts of up to 40 to 50 miles per hour. And something we've been tracking for a while, some Arctic air could be moving into San Antonio during the week of January 15th. So a while away, but we've already got our eyes on it. I'll tell you what you need to know coming up.
Enjoy this weather while it lasts. All right, thanks, Sarah. Well, we are now 9 days away from the Iowa caucuses, and President Biden delivered his first campaign speech of the year, timing it to coincide with the 3rd anniversary of the January 6th attack on the Capitol.
Yeah, meanwhile, Republican candidates are crisscrossing the Hawkeye State ahead of the caucuses on January 15th, including former President Donald Trump, who still holds a large lead over the other Republican candidates in all the polls. ABC's Mary Alice Parks has the latest from Iowa.
With fewer than 10 days to go, Republican candidates crisscrossing Iowa in their final push for early votes. Former President Trump with multiple events in Iowa this weekend.
We're going to win a third time, and we're going to bring our country back like never before.
Even on the anniversary of the January 6th attack on the Capitol, when a mob tried to stop the certification of the vote, Trump continuing to push his big lie that he won the 2020 election and already casting doubt on this coming election, too. His challengers with back-to-back events of their own, hoping to shake up the race with strong showings here in the Iowa caucuses.
And God bless President Trump. He's been on a temper tantrum every day about me.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis in Davenport, Iowa.
So the choice on January 15th, I think is very simple. Donald Trump is running for his issues. Nikki Haley's running for her donors' issues. I'm running for your issues.
President Biden marking 3 years since January 6th with a forceful rebuke of Trump, accusing the former president of using violence to cling to power.
This is the first national election since January 6th. Insurrection placed a dagger at the throat of American democracy since that moment. We all know who Donald Trump is. The question we have to answer is, who are we?
This week, Trump included among the list of candidates certified by Colorado's Secretary of State to be at this point on the state's Republican primary ballot. But the U.S. Supreme Court with a historic announcement Friday saying that it will take up a case to see whether he can be disqualified from that state's ballot under the 14th Amendment, having to do with whether he engaged in insurrection on January 6th. The Supreme Court justices fast-tracking the case, set to hear oral arguments next month. Mary Alice Parks, ABC News, North Liberty, Iowa.
Still ahead, fed up and frustrated are just two ways to describe how a neighborhood feels about the air quality where they live. Next on the Night Beat, why they say the problem could be threatening their health. Fed up, frustrated, and concerned. That's how neighbors who live near a scrapyard on Frio City Road say they feel.
When they gathered for a community meeting 2 months ago, they were worried about the air quality there. Now neighbors are taking their concerns to city and state leaders.
As some tell the night team's Avery Everett, they believe their health is on the line.
Even in a new year,
nobody should have to live that way, right?
This neighborhood is dealing with old problems.
I tell people, imagine living in a war zone.
Residents around Frio City Road are frustrated.
Who knows what could happen? Who knows what we're all breathing in?
The neighbors we spoke to believe one scrap center is hurting their health after reports of smoke, fires, and explosions.
Eventually, our problem is going to become everybody else's problem.
KSAT 12 archives show this has been happening for years, with the most recent fire in September and a community meeting held to address the concerns in November.
We finally got the attention that we were asking for. We finally started getting answers.
In the new year, these neighbors are writing testimonials, hoping to hand deliver these concerns to city and state leaders, including the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality, or TCEQ.
What appears to be smoke is lingering around the sky of Monterey Iron on Thursday night, but it's nothing as bad as that fire from back in September. Now, a couple of months after that fire, we know TCEQ did an investigation into the situation, but they wrapped up that investigation by the end of 2023, meaning that there have been 32 total investigations into the salvage yard, but 7 of those have been in the past 2 years. And now, in 2024, there are no more open investigations.
In a statement sent this week to KSAT 12, a spokesperson for Monterey says they have, quote, invested heavily in detection systems, mitigation systems, safety planning,
and expert hazard prevention. But with sites like these, neighbors say they're far from giving up.
My hope for 2024 is that there is a resolution to this problem and that the folks who are supposed to be policing are actually policing.
Taking this new action now in 2024. Avery Everett, KSAT 12 News.
And we did try to get a comment from District 5 Councilwoman Terry Castillo. A spokesperson released a statement which in part says Castillo filed a council consideration request in November to update city codes for recycling facilities. Another look at weather when we return.
After being up north for the holidays and putting on a coat every time you have to go outside and no
How was it today?
It was nice to wear shorts. I wore a sweater on top, but it was warm enough.
See, he's going to miss something.
I am definitely.
Even if it's not us.
I'll miss you guys too.
Oh, okay. Oh my God, you heard it. You heard it right here.
And only the weather from probably November to early March.
And then he'll call us bragging when it's
in
110.
the summertime, right? When it's 100 here and it's beautiful out there. But today was a beautiful day, guys.
It was.
We got up to 67 degrees this afternoon after a cold morning. Here's a look at those neighborhood highs for the day today. It was 70 in Hondo. Del Rio, you got up to 72, 65 in Kerrville, 69 in New Braunfels, 74 down in Laredo. But tonight it's going to get cold overnight. We're going to wake up in the 30s tomorrow morning, 37 in San Antonio, 34 in Del Rio, 32 though in Kerrville. So a light freeze in the hill country. That's the way it was this morning. That's the way it will be tomorrow morning. Just a very light freeze, but then a lot like today, we're quickly going to warm. By 10, it'll be 50 degrees. By noon, 59, mostly sunny in the afternoon, and then 65 for the high. Now, in the evening, we're going to see clouds return, and drizzle could start as early as midnight tomorrow, but a beautiful day during the day. One thing to keep in mind is it will get a little breezy during the day tomorrow. We'll have wind gusts of up to 25 to 30 miles per hour in the afternoon, but that's nothing compared to the wind gusts we're going to see on Monday as this low pressure system moves through Texas. First, though, I want to talk about the opportunity for rain with this next system. By early Monday morning, the morning commute, there will be areas of mist and drizzle. And on top of that, a few light showers embedded as well. If you live east of I-35, closer to Seguin, Gonzales, out toward Hallettsville, there may be one or two storms early on Monday morning as well. But the big thing with this, the big area where storms will be possible with the cold front is going to be in East Texas. The biggest thing that will impact us here in San Antonio in South Central Texas is not the rain. It's the winds. Winds are going to be gusting from the northwest up to 40 to 50 miles per hour Monday night through Tuesday morning. That is nothing to mess with. Those are pretty gusty winds. To put that in perspective for you, a severe wind gust measures at 58 miles per hour. So not as strong as that, but pretty up there. These are strong wind gusts, 40 to 50 miles per hour early on Tuesday morning. So just make sure that your lightweight patio furniture is either brought inside or secured, and put away those Christmas decorations that might still be up from Christmas a week ago. Very windy on Monday and Tuesday behind that front. 59 on Tuesday, 65 on Wednesday. Thursday will be at 71. Then a front is going to move through on Friday and bring windy conditions. What I'm showing you here is beyond the 7-day forecast. Arctic air will be moving in the week of January 15th. So not this week, but the following. What could we expect here in San Antonio? Well, I think a brief hard freeze is starting to look likely that week, but no wintry precipitation at the moment, and we'll keep you posted about that.
And if you didn't notice, Sarah has her cloud and lightning earrings on.
My periwinkle cloud and lightning earrings. Hoping to get some good rain in the rain gauges early Monday.
Well, it wasn't a 50-mile-an-hour breeze, but Mary came in here very quickly to tell us more about the Texans tonight.
Yeah, I was hoping to get you guys sound from head coach D'Amico Ryans, but I couldn't get it in. Here's this instead, the locker room celebration after the Texans clinched the playoffs and eliminated the Colts. Plus, the Spurs are in Cleveland tomorrow for a noon tip-off, and we'll give you the latest regarding Lumby's minutes restriction.
Football coverage brought to you by Davis Law Firm.
The Houston Texans have officially clinched a playoff spot at the helm of their rookie quarterback C.J. Stroud and first-year head coach D'Amico Ryans. And the locker room celebration after Houston's 23-19 victory over the Colts tonight reflects a team that beat the odds. Tonight, C.J. Stroud was 20 of 26 with 264 yards and 2 passing touchdowns, and Nico Collins had 9 catches for 195 yards and a score. The 10-7 Texans are headed to the playoffs for the first time since 2019, and they've won 7 of their final 10 games to be in the position they are right now to potentially win the AFC South title if Jacksonville loses to Tennessee tomorrow. Victor Wembanyama and the San Antonio Spurs are in Cleveland to take on the Cavaliers tomorrow afternoon. Now, since spraining his ankle December 23rd, Wembanyama has been on a minutes restriction. Head coach Greg Popovich says whether or not the restriction will be lifted is dependent on the results when the medical staff re-examines his ankle, which will happen soon, but we don't know exactly when. Wembanyama talked about his minutes after Thursday's game against the Bucks.
Of course, I can't spend the whole game on the floor, but it felt like I made those minutes count. And we managed to keep me in enough minutes so I could be in the court at the end. And I mean, the management was good, but I mean, yeah, until pretty much as good as we can do it until I can play full minutes, you know.
Tomorrow, the Spurs should have more help. Malachi Branham is probable to play after missing the last game with a right ankle sprain. Branham back likely means he will reclaim his starting spot from Trey Jones, and I know a lot of people watching have an opinion about that.
Oh, yes, they do. I'm sure you'll talk about it tomorrow in Instant Replay and get everyone's opinion.
Yes.
Thanks, Mary.
Thank
We'll
you.
be right back. A lot of weather over the next 10 days. Now, tomorrow's going to be beautiful and quiet. Cold in the morning, comfortable in the afternoon at 65. Then we see some drizzle develop Sunday night into Monday morning, a bit of a damp start. A front moves through, and that's when it gets windy, Monday through Tuesday morning. We'll have wind gusts of up to 40 to 50 miles per hour, so secure any kind of outdoor lightweight furniture, those kinds of things. We'll be looking at a pleasant day on Wednesday after a brief morning freeze, 71 on Thursday, then a windy front arrives on Friday once again. So kind of all over the place for the next 7 days.
Yeah. Got to be ready for that.
I guess so. We're ready to say goodnight. Thanks for watching.
Live from KSAT 12, Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
All right, we are starting off with a live look out of the Alamo City. 41 degrees, so a little bit warmer than what we saw yesterday, but I got to say, yesterday turned out to be a picture-perfect day across the Alamo City. Mike Osterhage is in. He's going to have our full forecast and answer the question, will we see rain tomorrow? Good morning. It is 6 o'clock this morning. It is Sunday. It is January 7th. Thank you so much for starting your morning with us. Did you make it out and about yesterday?
We took down all the Christmas decorations.
Well, and when you say we, I know yesterday you were like, the husband will do all the work and I will be moral support chair.
I held the ladder. But at one point.
That's instrumental, though. Safety first.
We forgot something. We put everything up. We forgot something, and he just looked at me and he goes, get on my shoulders. I'm not moving everything. So I got on the shoulders, put the last item up. Oh, no, what it was is he forgot his cell phone in the attic.
Oh.
And so I had to get up there and
That's
get
team
it.
effort.
Yeah, but I was like, wow, we can join the circus now.
That was fantastic. Mike Osterhage, are your Christmas decorations still up?
We did the whole thing yesterday as well. And if you have not yet, do it today because we've been talking about the windy conditions. It's going to be breezy later on tonight, a decent breeze today, but again, tomorrow and then Tuesday. So if there's anything out there, plus any garbage cans, trampolines, things like that, you definitely want to get those things either put away or somehow fastened down. 40 degrees right now. We do have some clouds out there and pretty chilly in parts of the hill country. We're down to freezing. We are going to make it up to 67 later on today. So we'll be a handful of degrees above normal. Nice warm day. And it's going to get even warmer tomorrow. Now, the aquifer did go up yesterday, 0.2 of a foot. And the allergens, boy, I'll tell you one thing, those mountain cedar trees. Now, mountain cedar is high, and I would suspect it's going to be on the high side again today. Then the next couple of days, those mountain cedar numbers are probably going to be just off the charts. Take a look at some of these numbers right now. We've got freezing conditions in the hill country as we speak, and As you can see, 30s in Comfort, Kerrville, as well as Bandera. And we have wind advisories that have already been issued for portions of the hill country for tonight and up through tomorrow morning. This is not even to do with the front. It's out ahead of the front, obviously. Then tomorrow, got a fire weather watch posted for western portions of the hill country. Winds 25, 35 miles per hour, gusting 50 to 55 miles per hour, especially out to the west. And that is going to be through the day tomorrow. And all that's going to be extended overnight into Tuesday because we'll still be very windy. So here's what's going on today. Partly cloudy, warm and breezy. Then tonight, we're going to see a couple of showers. It's going to get windy, especially in the hill country. Just a few little scattered showers here and there overnight. It's going to be a damp commute tomorrow. It's going to be chilly, but not cold tomorrow morning. We're going to hit 70 midday. We're looking at the front coming through 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon, sooner in the hill country, of course. And then temperatures will drop 10 degrees by dinner time. Very windy conditions then. It's going to be very windy on Tuesday. It will be much cooler on Tuesday, a high of only 60. And then once those winds settle down, we're looking at a freeze here in town by Wednesday morning. Another front beyond that, and then another big front beyond that. We'll get that all sorted out in just a couple of minutes. Sarah, Max.
Mike, thank you. We're learning more about a story we talked about yesterday. SAPD arrested 4 teens after police and DPS busted a street takeover event.
So as the police chief tells our Danielle Ibarra, authorities actually knew that this group was on their way.
A stolen car. San Antonio police say covert units had been tracking it for miles. Those units, along with DPS, surveilled a street takeover on the west side, just north of Castroville Road and General McMullen.
We knew, and again, there's different ways that we receive intelligence that they're coming.
Chief Willie McManus says street takeovers are a major safety threat.
It's a dangerous, foolish, reckless thing to do on public streets or in parking lots, wherever it may be.
McManus says new laws helped police impound 3 cars, all belonging to people charged with street racing.
We are going to take your car, and you're not going to get it back, not to mention that you will be arrested.
And the danger of street takeovers goes beyond the road.
It's dangerous. I mean, it's very, very dangerous. People drinking, carrying guns. Some of them, some of the cars that we recover are stolen.
Stolen cars like the one that crashed at the QT. Before the crash, police say they watched someone get out of the car with a weapon and mask and go into another store. That's when police say they started following the car and watched someone toss a handgun out the window. Police arrested 4 people between the ages of 14 and 18. The teens faced several charges, including evading arrest with a vehicle. Police also recovered 3 weapons, one of which is stolen. McManus hopes this sting serves as a warning to street racers.
Don't come back, and if you do it at your own peril. We're going to take your car, and you're not going to get it back.
Danielle Ibarra, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Daniela. In your morning headlines, United Airlines says it will suspend all of the 737 MAX 9 planes. This comes after an Alaska Airlines flight had to make an emergency landing after a section of the plane detached. And now all aircrafts need to be inspected by the FAA. United Airlines said it has about 80 of those Boeing 737 models. A spokesperson told CNN the airline is working with customers impacted by the plane incident.
The longtime head of the National Rifle Association, the NRA, Wayne LaPierre, says he is resigning just days before the start of a civil trial. So the trial actually deals with allegations that LaPierre used millions of dollars from the organization on private jet flights, yacht trips, African safaris, and other extensive extravagant perks. The trial is set to start tomorrow, and just hours after LaPierre announced his resignation, a former NRA executive, Joshua Powell, settled his own lawsuit over claims of fraud.
The first major snowstorm of the season pummeled the Northeast overnight after leaving an icy mess across the heartland.
ABC's Chuck Sievertson reports parts of the South also getting some severe weather.
Severe weather from coast to coast affecting 50 million Americans. In the South, a tornado hit Fort Lauderdale, Florida early Saturday evening as a line of storms moved across the Sunshine State. Videos posted on social media show power flashes and strong winds in the area. A National Weather Service team will determine the strength of the tornado. Amazingly, officials say no one was injured and only minor damage. In the Northeast, the first major winter storm of the year, packing snow, wind, and even freezing rain.
Honestly, it feels like an apocalypse out here. Right?
More than half a foot of snow reported in parts of southwestern Pennsylvania and West Virginia. In Newton, New Jersey, even horses were enjoying the first snowflakes of 2024. The heaviest snowfall expected in the Hudson Valley, the Poconos in Pennsylvania, and parts of New England. The same winter storm left an icy mess across the Midwest. In Arkansas, a crash on snowy I-94, backing up traffic for miles, leaving hundreds of drivers stuck.
I always drive with Google Maps. It suggested that I get off, and at the last minute I said, you know what, I think I'll be okay. Well, I chose poorly. I was wrong.
And in Kansas, the snow leading to crashes.
Are slammed with calls. I was talking to dispatch a while ago, and the phones just keep blowing up.
More than 20 inches of snow expected to fall in the Cascade Mountains. Chuck Severson, ABC News, New York.
The NBA is reinstating forward Draymond Green after a 12-game suspension. The league first suspended when he hit a Suns player during the game. This is Green's second suspension of the season. He missed 5 games in November for placing a player in a headlock during a fight. The former Defensive Player of the Year is now able to return to the team.
And speaking of teams, how about the Spurs? Wemby and the San Antonio Spurs, they are in Cleveland taking on the Cavs this afternoon. Actually starts at noon. Since spraining his ankle just a few days before Christmas, Wemby has been on a minutes restriction. Head coach Greg Popovich says whether or not the restriction will be lifted, it depends on the results when the medical staff re-examines Wemby's ankle. Now, he talked about his minutes after Thursday's game against the Bucks.
Of course, I can't spend the whole game on the floor, but it felt like I made those minutes count. And we managed to keep me in enough minutes so I could be in the court at the end. And the management was good, but until pretty much as good as we can do until I can play full minutes,
The minutes restriction is fine, and we understand the caution, but it would have been awesome to see Wemby play 40-some minutes against Giannis. Today, Spurs will have some more help. Malachi Branham probable to play after missing the last game with a right ankle sprain. Branham likely means claiming his starting spot from Trey Jones.
Football coverage brought to you by Davis Law Firm.
How about them Cowboys? So Cowboys and Commanders kicking off this afternoon, 3:25. And we're not betting people here, but do want to let you know the Cowboys, they're heavy favorites, 13.5-point favorites. But with so much riding on the game, I'm sure that Dallas can't help but feel the pressure. I know a lot of Cowboys fans are like, we're going to lose this one. You're not. Because
we have to go in like that, Max.
No, because the Commanders...
You go in with too much hope, you just get your heart broken every time.
It's the hope that kills you. No, the Commanders want to lose this game so that they can get a better draft pick. All right, but for a team that's already locked into the playoffs, which the Cowboys are too. Many people say the playoffs really begin Week 18. Hard to disagree when it's win or go home for the Texans and the Colts. First play of the game, C.J. Stroud launching it deep. Nico Collins. Collins gets 75-yard touchdown. Texans lead 7-3. Second quarter, the lethal duo generating another big play. Here we go. Quick, off the screen, Nico Collins. Texans, oh, look at that. Pushing forward, 1 yard line. And then here we go. Wait for it, boom. He's wide open. Middle of the end zone, they go into halftime up 14-3, but it wasn't that easy in the second half. The Colts came out of intermission with a much better feel of the game. After forcing a punt, Jonathan Taylor making a house call 49 yards out. He's basically going untouched, walking in. A couple field goals later, it's 17-all, and then here we go. Devin Singletary capping off an extensive drive, finding the hole. Fourth quarter drive, 3-yard touchdown. The PAT is no good, so with a minute left, the Colts go for it. 4th and 1, down 6. Tyler Goodson, wait for it. Can he? Oh, that is a season-ending drop for the Indianapolis Colts. Texans improved to 10-7, defeating the Colts 23-19, clinching a playoff berth. In DeMeco Ryans' first season as head coach, Stroud finishing with 264 yards, 2 passing touchdowns, and Nico Collins, 9 targets, 9 catches, 195 yards. And to think that the Texans would rebuild like this in just 1 year is astonishing.
Was this one of those games where the Colts Like if they lost, it was better for them? No, they needed to.
I mean, technically, if you lose, it is better for you for draft position,
Right.
but both were fighting for a playoff spot. Yeah.
Okay. I learned so much on this show.
We're having fun here. Time now, 6:12, 42 degrees.
Well, it's 41.
Oh, sorry, 41 degrees.
Yeah, 40. But all we know is it's cold out there, Max. Too cold for Max Massey.
It is too
Anything
cold.
under what, 65, Max?
50. We'll say 50.
Okay. Hey, Mike is in for Sarah. He'll have our forecast when we come back.
And good morning, everybody. It is a beautiful start this morning. Got a couple of clouds out there, and if you are heading out to early church services, definitely grab a jacket because we've got some cold temperatures. It's 30 Kerrville, Comfort, Bandera, freezing right now at Bernie as well as Bulverde, and we may drop down another degree or so, but there's still, with that cloud cover and enough humidity to not really let temperatures plunge. As just to kind of jump ahead, that's definitely going to be the situation midweek. Anyway, back to today. We are going to have partly cloudy skies throughout the day and warm up quite nicely. We'll already be up to 60 today at noon. Then we're going to be topping off at 67. So it starts to get breezy today. Not too bad, but again, we've been emphasizing about taking in anything outside that can blow away or tying it down somehow. Get all your Christmas decorations down because it's going to be windier tonight, especially in the hill country. Then we are going to start to see some very strong winds. So here's what goes on throughout the day today. We have just kind of partly cloudy skies, and then we're going to see some clouds move on in here. By later on this evening, we'll start to see a couple of showers developing here, just a few scattered about. That's going to be the situation late tonight, and then in the overnight hours tomorrow. Damp commute tomorrow morning, so just kind of allow yourself extra time for that. We will have showers, maybe a couple of thunderstorms. Most of the activity, though, is going to be well up to the north of us. So this will start to taper off then by noon, and we clear out midday, right around the time that front's going to start to work its way on through here. Now, back up to tonight, 6 o'clock tonight till 6 tomorrow morning, hill country. Wind advisory has already been issued, as well as well down to the south around Cotulla and our extreme southern counties. Then, throughout the day tomorrow, from tomorrow morning through tomorrow evening, there is a fire weather watch for western portions of the hill country. When the winds are really going to start to pick up, we've got very dry air, so relative humidities are going to be quite low. And speaking of low humidity, here's what it looks like overnight tonight. And then when that front moves through, dew points are really going to be dropping off. So, I mean, you'll feel how dry the air is coming in here by midweek, and that's going to really allow temperatures to drop down. Comes back up. It's going to drop back down again then by next weekend, another front. Get more on that in a second. First of all, tomorrow, breezy in the morning, and then when the front moves on through here, notice how we go from about 30-mile-per-hour wind gusts up to close to 50-mile-per-hour wind gusts by late in the day tomorrow, overnight into Tuesday. It's going to stay very windy, and all around the area, again, we're looking at 35, 40, 45, 50-mile-per-hour wind gusts, maybe even higher than that in some areas, and that's going to be the case, like I said, through Tuesday. Winds will start to ease a little bit, but then we are going to see just still breezy conditions on Tuesday. So it goes like this today, 67, 70 tomorrow. We're going to hit that about midday. Front comes through, knocks temperatures down to about 60 by dinner time, and then we're going to be down in the mid-30s. Very windy. Wind chills are really going to be something on Tuesday morning. Nice looking on Tuesday. Wind settles down, freezing on Wednesday morning up to 65. We get a little bit milder, and then we have another front working its way on through here by Saturday morning, late Friday, Saturday, and it's going to be cold. Then we have yet another pretty good Arctic blast coming in here then for next week, right after MLK Day. We'll tell you more about that throughout the course of the morning. More after this.
If a handful of city council members find a way, horse-drawn carriages will be a thing of the past.
So in late 2022, District 2 Council Member Jalen McKee Rodriguez and District 3 Council Member Phyllis Villagran, they proposed banning horse-drawn carriages by the end of last year.
The council members are calling the business, quote, an inhumane, cruel means of travel in San Antonio, end quote. Their proposal has gone nowhere so far, but Mayor Ron Nirenberg said a key council committee will likely take up the issue this year. If not an outright ban, then possibly new rules that would at least partially push the industry out of downtown. The committee has met 8 times since McKee, Rodriguez, and Villagran submitted their proposal.
And today is the last day San Antonio Pets Alive is waiving their adoption fees at the Medical Center Adoption Center on Marbach Road. The address right there on the bottom left portion of your screen.
This is your chance to save a pet for free. And again, today is the last day for this special. All pets come from SAPA, vaccinated, microchip, spayed, and with active heartworm prevention.
All right, time now is 6:23, 40 degrees. We're getting colder.
It's getting colder. Need ideas for breakfast this morning? Yes.
Look at your screen.
Look at your screen. We'll take a look at a new item at H-E-B after the break.
Good morning and welcome back. More reality TV chefs coming to Waco. 2 chefs from season 21. There's 21 seasons.
Wow.
Of Gordon Ramsay's show, Hell's Kitchen. They're opening up a restaurant in South Waco. So Alejandro Nahar and Alyssa Osinja. Sure. Congrats, Alyssa. They're debuting the Butcher's Cellar. Actually sounds really good. Serving Chop House steaks and fresh seafood. Okay. We're still waiting on an opening date. Mike, you want to go with me?
Sure. They look so young.
All right. They probably are very young. Good for them.
Good for them.
All right. And if you're looking to have a date night at home for Valentine's Day, here you go. We're planning like way ahead.
I would say like maybe if you wanted to make breakfast for your loved one, this would work. H-E-B debuting its churro, cinnamon, and sugar seasoned bacon. Basically, it's bacon with brown sugar on it. It's already going viral online, flying off the shelves. This is a limited edition, so try it out soon.
It might not even be here by Valentine's Day. You got to buy it soon.
You know what? This would have been better if I could see it cooked, because right now,
it is thick cut, which I appreciate.
Yeah.
There you go. You and Dave are going to get some?
I'm not like a big bacon girl.
Okay.
No, really? Not a bacon girly.
Not a bacon girly? Fantastic.
No.
More of a Stanley girly. Mike Oseridge is in the audience.
Stanley.
Mike, would you like to come join?
How about dip that?
This is fantastic.
Come on in, Mike.
Our producer's like, get Mike off.
I know. Sorry, MJ. Dip that in chocolate.
Oh.
Ooh. Because chocolate covered bacon?
Yes.
Churro bacon dipped in chocolate?
Look at this guy. Gordon Ramsay.
Time that you guys look very similar. Time now, 6:28. It's 40 degrees.
Okay, ahead in our next half hour, from immigration to the lottery, we have your latest news happening around the Lone Star State.
Good morning, welcome back, and happy Sunday. It is 6:31. It is January 7th. Thank you so much for starting your morning with us.
Good morning.
Kind of the same conditions that we saw yesterday.
Yeah.
41 degrees, but yesterday it turned out to be gorgeous.
Did you actually leave your apartment and go outside? That does, and balcony and your pool area does not count.
So like leave the
vicinity.
No.
I didn't think so.
That's like going out to the pool's like going out to your yard, isn't it?
Exactly. Yeah, I went out in my yard.
Okay.
I went on the
No, but sometimes Max will be like, yeah, I enjoyed outside, and then he's like, yeah, the window was open.
No. When I say I enjoyed outside, that means that I was probably on the balcony or
big balcony guy.
Big balcony.
Sarah,
guy.
cut the boys some slack, okay? All right. If you're heading outside this morning on your balcony or out on the pool deck, it is definitely chilly out there. We have temperatures right now at the airport stands at 40 degrees. The normal low temperature this time of year is 41, so we're right exactly where we should be. Fair amount of humidity. Dew point in itself is very low, but compared to that number, so we're not going to be dropping down that much. A little bit of a breeze out of the northwest. Got a few clouds out there. Down to 29s now. Comfort as well as Kerrville still freezing. Bulverde and Burning Stage 39 there at Randolph. A lot of mountain cedar. Get ready because more than likely I would definitely bet on the fact that mountain cedar is going to be sky high, not only tomorrow's reading, but then also on Tuesday and probably into Wednesday with those winds that are going to be out of the northwest gusting 45, 50, 55 miles per hour, really shaking up the mountain cedar trees. Today, 60 at noon. Great day to get outside. Max 67 degrees. It's going to be a little bit on the breezy side. A couple of gusts, especially later on this evening. And that's when the wind advisory goes into effect for portions of the hill country. Just basically to the west of 281. Does include Kerrville, Fredericksburg, Bandera. Doesn't include Bexar County, but obviously it's going to be breezy around here. Then tomorrow, we are going to have fire weather watch go into effect. It's already been issued for western portions of the hill country and our southern and southwestern counties. Winds again gusting 25, 35 mile per hour winds, gusting to 55 on top of that. We will have a few showers developing tonight, early tomorrow morning, and then the front moves through midday, and get ready to hang on to your hat and everything else because it is going to be windy and then very cold after that. We'll talk about that coming up in just a couple of minutes. Sarah, Max.
Mike, thank you. Bexar County sheriffs arrested a 24-year-old Cameron McKee after animal control found decomposed and malnourished dogs at her apartment. The images you are about to see may be disturbing. During a news conference, Sheriff Javier Salazar said animal control was initially called to the apartment complex in far west Bexar County after being notified of a foul odor. That's when they found the extremely decomposed remains of a pit bull in the garage. And another dog was found severely malnourished. McKee told officers she saw the dogs on New Year's Day before getting her nails done and said both dogs seemed fine. Salazar said McKee's statement is false because of the severity of the dog's states, adding McKee has a, quote, a cold heart, end quote. Court records show she was in Bexar County Jail this week, but has since posted.
And speaking of local animals, the search is on to find the next director of San Antonio's Animal Care Services.
2023 saw an increase in severe dog attacks and a larger stray animal population. Now residents say they want to see more out of the department.
Our Avery Everett showing us the city is now accepting applications, and some neighbors hope the candidates, well, they hope that they're cut out to bring a lot of change.
It's more than a crisis.
Driving down the west side, dogs are just about on every corner.
It's just an awful situation.
Some have owners, others are strays.
This has been a hard year, but it's time for an intervention.
In a new year, neighbors say they're dealing with old problems.
The city of San Antonio has a culture of not spaying and neutering, which has created a incident of just a mass amount of dogs running loose.
But now, the search is on to find the new head of Animal Care Services in San Antonio.
I want us to get in the front lines to curtail all this overpopulation of unwanted.
The new year will bring a new director to ACS, and applications for that position are now open. But after a year of multiple dog attacks and high stray counts across the city, animal advocates say this city is ready to see something new.
We need somebody that has done a city before, as big as San Antonio, if not larger, has cleaned that city up, and now we need that person to come in and clean our city up. They have the solutions, we need them.
On the city's application page, the job description emphasizes a need for improving current procedures and developing a strategy that fits San Antonio. We reached out to ACS earlier this week and have yet to hear back over email.
We've definitely seen it.
Just a few weeks ago, we spoke to the current director, Shannon Sims, recapping 2023. He says education and enforcement should always be top of mind.
If I could have every single animal owner in San Antonio do one thing, it's keep your animal on your property.
Sims still has a couple of months left as director. Animal advocates in San Antonio say they're hoping the city considers a wide range of applicants. Because as they see it, strays and animals not being spayed or neutered won't go away.
San Antonio is not a good place for animals. In reality, it isn't. There's so much neglect.
Unless there's new action in this new year. Avery Everett, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Avery. In your Texas headlines, the Justice Department releasing new video from outside the House chamber on the day of the January 6th attack, showing rioters talking to Republican Texas Representative Troy Nehls through a shattered glass doorway. Take a listen.
I've been in law enforcement in Texas for 30 years.
Talk a little louder.
That's because you've never seen corruption like we have seen this last month. I'm ashamed. And I'm ashamed of my Congress people.
So the rioters are heard shouting at the congressman, some yelling that this is our house. As you heard, the Texas representative is actually telling the rioters he is ashamed of their behavior and that he has served in law enforcement for 30 years and has never seen people act that way before. Now, the person shouting the video, that is Damon Beckley, and he will face sentencing next month for obstructing the Electoral College certification process and civil disorder.
Out in Houston, Harris County court records show a Spring Independent School District janitor was arrested for installing cameras in 2 employee bathrooms at Hoyland Elementary School. 41-year-old Eric Carrion allegedly admitted in court to buying cameras solely for installing them in the bathrooms. Camera footage showed 2 female employees using the restroom. Spring ISD released a statement saying the cameras were found in an area that only he had the keys to. He is being charged with invasive visual recording, and an email was sent out to all parents and staff. He has been since released on bond.
Well, after record numbers, the closure of multiple trade bridges, and numerous political appearances, the United States is seeing a drop in illegal border crossings here in Texas. This as Mexico is increasing law enforcement presence, at least in the short term. ABC reporting arrests for illegal crossings into the United States from Mexico fell to almost 3,000 this week, down from more than 10,000 on several different days last month. Mexico's immigration agency, they sent over 20 flights from its border region with the United States to southern cities during the last 10 days of December. Most were a city across from Eagle Pass. Mexico also ran 2 removal flights to Venezuela with almost 400 migrants.
Respiratory illnesses during the holidays, well, they've spiked across Texas. New data from the Texas Department of Health and Human Services shows in just 1 week, Texas saw an almost 5% increase in positive flu tests. The CDC says Texas is currently in the very high level. In Bexar County alone, there has been almost 1,000 new cases of the flu since this time last month.
Forbes releasing its top 10 fastest growing ports in the United States, calling the port of Corpus Christi an energy exporting powerhouse. You can share if you'd like.
Woo-woo.
There you go. Since 2013, Forbes says the port of Corpus Christi grew over 200%, adding that the port is so strong, it is also one of the worst performing sites for imports over the decade, down over 60%. Now, Corpus, followed by the port of Mobile, Alabama, and Atlanta's Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport.
Texas lottery officials announcing that a winning ticket worth $34 million
oh my goodness.
has still not been claimed. The person probably doesn't know, Max.
They probably threw it away.
Oh my gosh, the ticket was purchased at an Austin HEB. The winner chose the cash value option and is set to receive over $20 million before taxes. Check. Wait, that means if they chose.
Yeah, if they chose.
No one has claimed it.
No one has claimed it. So if you're out there, you went to Austin HEB recently, check your numbers. All right, a full week of practices in San Antonio led us to the official kickoff of the 2024 All-American Bowl. 100 highly touted prospects across the country wrapping up their high school football careers in a high-profile game here inside the Alamo Dome. James Peoples, a 4-star recruit, signing with Ohio State, representing Veterans Memorial on Team East. East versus West, Peoples rushed twice, 2 yards, caught 1 pass for 4 yards for the East team. Many highlights plays come to come. One day we're going to look back and we're going to see them playing in the NFL. I think Tim Tebow, Trevor Lawrence, a lot of big-name NFL players have played in this game. Other prospects, and of course, Peoples will join the Buckeyes football team next year. And of course, the All-Star game followed for another display of great football talent in the Dome. I mean, this is just amazing. We had John Jay quarterback Jackson Gutierrez, the Navy commit, throwing a beautiful ball over the back foot to East Central's Austin Vivier for a touchdown. Then Gold got on the board before halftime. Warren's, Antonio, look at this. Meza hitting Johnson's, King Johnson, on the end zone. Look at that beautiful catch. Team Gold scoring the rest of the way for the All-Star game victory, 25-7. San Antonio is home to so many industries. One of the industries that has been booming as of late, the startup industry, and there are big changes on the way. Leadership changes. We're going to speak to one of the latest leaders, the newly appointed leader, coming up at 8 a.m. on a special edition of Leading SA. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, you want to be part of the conversation, you can submit those questions right now. Just head to the Leading SA section of KSAT.com. Join us at 8 a.m. for a full conversation. Time now, just about 6:43, 40 degrees.
Still ahead on GMSA, calling all nights and jesters.
Let's go.
The Kerrville Renaissance Festival is back in action. After the break, we'll see what weekends the festival is coming to town.
You got to go for the turkey legs. Have you ever been to a Renaissance Festival?
I have covered several.
Okay.
Gotten lessons in,
Jousting.
Yeah.
Did you get a turkey leg? It's like the size of a Saracosta.
Yeah, it's like 5 feet tall.
Fantastic. All right. We're going to check in with Mike in just a few moments.
Okay, The Kerrville Renaissance Festival is set to bring back the knights, jesters, and medieval revelry as it returns for its 8th year. The festival will take place the last 2 weekends this month, along with the first weekend of February.
Nice.
Visitors can enjoy battlers, dancers, and contests, along with over 30 shops offering crafts, accessories, and clothing. And of course, funnel cake will be available, as well as turkey legs.
That's what we're here for.
Mac and cheese brisket, and so much more. Tickets are on sale. Mike, have you been out there?
No, I haven't. We just had a gentleman on the show on SA Live the other day, and they have a raptor rescue. And so raptors that are injured or something like that, they help rehab them and then take them back or send them back out into the wild. And they have some of them that can never be released. So those are their demonstration birds. But he had a falcon and a hawk on the show.
Wow.
The most amazing animals. And he said their eyesight, we have like 100,000 rods and cones. They have 1 million in their eyes. And that they could see a mouse's ear twitch at a mile.
What?
And they've done tests where they can recognize their offspring at 10 miles.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it's just amazing animals. And the speed that they can get, and the falcons and everything. So they're going to be some of those out there as well.
Mike's going to show up one day with like a pet falcon.
Yeah.
I can see it.
Well,
Big flex.
They do practice the falconry, I should say. Yeah. So, yeah, very, very interesting.
Cool.
So check that out if you are out there. So, all right, it is cold this morning. Bundle up. And we've got some, you can see a few clouds there off in the distance. We'll have more sunshine midday and then more clouds later on tonight. Okay. You may have seen Sarah talking about this yesterday. So a lot of times we kind of stray away from talking way down the road because a lot can change between now and then. But there are indications that there's another pretty good chunk of Arctic air that's going to be coming on in here. And this is just something we're keeping an eye on for then next week. We're talking about the week of the 15th, so a week from tomorrow. This would be a brief hard freeze. And so that's the one thing to emphasize. Now, a lot can change, of course, between now and then. But this would be associated with then basically the third cold front in the forecast. We've got the front moving through tomorrow. We've got another one late in the week and then that next one. So here's what's going on with the upper level wind pattern. And we've got this low, which like every other one, it seems like that's moved through in the past couple of months, stays too far to the north to give us a whole lot of beneficial rain. But this will pull down that front, and that's going to be right around midday tomorrow. Bring in colder air. It's windy, wind chills Tuesday morning, definitely going to be down there. Then winds settle down, colder air settles on in here for Wednesday morning, and we'll have about normal temperatures going into the rest of the week. Then, as you can see, another low is going to be developing up here, and that is going to bring yet another chunk of colder air in here for Saturday and then into Sunday. And so that will be the second front. So we get another freeze on Saturday. Then we get that next one, which looks like it's going to be coming through by the week of the 15th. All right, let's get back to the front that moves through tomorrow. Winds, it's going to be breezy tonight, but tomorrow, that's when the winds really start to get screaming, and we're going to be looking at gusts 30, 35, 40 miles per hour, 45, even 50 mile per hour wind gusts throughout the evening hours tomorrow night, overnight into Tuesday morning. Very, very blustery. That's why we keep emphasizing even things like trampolines in your backyard. I mean, make sure they're staked down or something, garbage cans, so they're not, down the road, a couple of neighbors down by tomorrow night into early Tuesday morning. And still fairly windy throughout the day on Tuesday, but at least the wind will begin to settle down. Now, tonight, throughout the day, like I said, we're going to have partly cloudy skies, nice looking day, but then we're going to start to see a few showers developing later on this evening, even a couple of thunderstorms by early tomorrow morning. But most of that activity, because you saw that low that's going to be traversing right across the panhandle, most of the activity is going to be well up there to the north of us. But we will have a damp commute tomorrow with a few showers, a couple of stray thunderstorms around the area. Then that's going to be clearing on out as that front moves on through and clears things out. So we'll have a lot of sunshine in the afternoon tomorrow. But like I said, just to be ready, it is definitely going to be windy, breezy tonight, but windy tomorrow. So here's what's going on. 67 today. We will hit 70 tomorrow prior to the front moving through right around midday. A couple of showers, even a thunderstorm overnight tonight. Now we will start off relatively mild at 55. Then the windy conditions Tomorrow evening, Tuesday, and once the wind settles out, we'll start off, by the way, in the 30s on Tuesday, so wind chills are definitely going to be a factor. Stay at 60 on Tuesday, down to freezing on Wednesday, a little bit milder than the end of the week, and then next front comes through for next weekend, so it looks like another brief touch of freezing by Saturday morning.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
But get ready for tomorrow. For the, again, breezy tonight, but tomorrow night, and Tuesday.
I just liked Sarah's soundboard reactions. Ooh. Yeah. Wow.
Well, I'm just like, those are freezing temps on there. I'm going to have to get my plants ready.
Yeah. Not a long, hard freeze, but just
enough.
Yeah, just enough.
Thanks, Mike.
Time now, 6:52, 40 degrees.
So you think you can dance? Fans will see next season a little bit different. We'll tell you why in your entertainment news. That's after the break.
All right, so you think you can dance? The show is losing one of the judges for the time being. Nigel Lithgow says he is stepping away after he was accused of harassment by a fellow judge, Paul Abdul. Now, production companies behind the reality competition series released a joint statement saying they haven't made a decision yet about a replacement judge for this season. Lithgow said in a statement he is dedicating himself to clearing his name and clearing his reputation.
And a Love is Blind contestant has filed a lawsuit against Netflix. Renee from season 5 says her love interest on the show turned out to be, quote, a walking red flag. Court documents show Carter Wall was violent, unemployed, had addiction problems. The lawsuit says these issues became apparent to Renee and production staff while filming, but she was warned about legal action if she left the show. Netflix says she violated her NDA agreement by speaking out, and her lawsuit is an effort to fight that.
Time now is 6:56, 40 degrees.
We'll be right back.
Take a look outside right now, and we are enjoying a nice looking sunrise as the sun is thinking about coming up right now. A couple of clouds still hanging around here. It is chilly, though. If you're heading off to early church services, make sure you bundle up. 50 at 10 o'clock, 60 noon, 67 high temperature today. Partly cloudy sky. It's going to be breezy today, and then a couple of showers going to be developing later on tonight. Now, it's going to be a damp commute tomorrow, by the way. Wind advisory goes into effect at 6 o'clock tonight till 6 in the morning for the Hill Country. Then we will have fire weather watch for western counties tomorrow, and we've got that big front moving through mid-afternoon tomorrow.
All right.
Thank you, Mike.
Mike, thank you so much. We'll see you back here at 8 a.m.
See y'all at 8.
Live from KSAT 12, Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
All right, Sarah Costa, you got your wish. We're in the 30s.
That wasn't my wish.
Taking a live look out at the Alamo.
Lies.
Mike Osterage is joining us, and the sun is out. The temps are down. There we go. Mike's moved the camera a little bit. Good morning. It's 8 o'clock this Sunday. It is January 7th. Thank you so much for starting your morning with us. Yesterday, we also dipped into the 30s a little bit. Turned out to be a picture-perfect day out there.
Sun was out.
If you joined us at 6 a.m., yes, I did make it outside. And I say
via the balcony.
I say getting outside, as long as you get direct sunlight, that is not, I'm like a plant.
Yes.
As long as it's not just through the window, that constitutes being outside.
Okay.
Yeah, for an elongated amount of time.
I don't know if I really agree with that, but I do like your analogy.
Thank you. I do what I can.
Max is a full sunshine plant.
That's it. I sparkle, Mike. Thanks.
So what, you're like chlorophyll or something over there?
No, I need chlorophyll. I think we all need a little sunlight.
We all need a little sunlight.
As you can see, we do have a few clouds hanging around here right now. Temperature stands, as we were talking, at 38 degrees. Normal low right now. We're still in the coolest time of the year historically, and that goes through the 20th of the month. Normal low is 41 degrees, so obviously we are below that. And we are going to have sort of a mixture of sunshine and clouds today. 67, normal high is 63, so start off cool, but warm up very nicely, and that's due to the dry air that's in place, and that doesn't hold the heat in. But then again, like I said, it heats up very quickly. The aquifer yesterday jumped up. Just used to saying drop down 0.2 of a foot. At Mountain Cedars on the high side today. It's going to be interesting to see what that number is tomorrow morning, Tuesday morning, as well as Wednesday after that big front moves on through here. Take a look at some of the temperatures around the area. Have dropped down now to 28. in both Kerrville as well as Comfort, and add to that Bandera. Freezing Bulverde stage now, even around Rio Medina. In your backyard, outlying areas, you may be below freezing. Not much of a breeze out there. And like I said, Mountain Cedar is on the high side as of right now. Throughout the day, we make it up to 60 at noon and 67 now. Kind of breezy this afternoon, and then especially tonight, it is going to get breezier. We also have a chance for a couple of showers to develop later on tonight. There is a wind advisory that goes into effect for the Hill Country at 6 o'clock up until 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. And also then a fire weather watch goes into effect tomorrow morning up through the evening hours for western portions of the Hill Country. My guess is advisories, wind warnings, maybe even red flag warnings are going to be issued throughout the day tomorrow and going into Tuesday because of those very, very strong winds. We're still looking at that. And then some colder temperatures in behind that. We'll get it all sorted out in just a couple of minutes. Sarah, Max.
Mike, thank you. Now let's take a look at some of the top stories this morning. The final suspect in the July 2020 killing of a young mother was sentenced on Friday. 25-year-old Alyssa Weiss was one of the 7 people originally charged with capital murder in the killing of 19-year-old Jasmine Williams. In a deal with prosecutors on Friday, she pled guilty to a lesser charge of robbery in exchange for 10 years of probation that would allow her to avoid a conviction if she successfully completes it. A spokeswoman for the Bexar County District Attorney's Office said in an emailed statement that her role was seen, quote, the least culpable of the accomplices. For more on this story, just head to KSAT.com.
Even though 3 years have now passed since the January 6th in the Capitol, arrests are still taking place. Multiple people arrested just yesterday at a ranch in Florida. All of this because of their involvement on January 6th. The FBI reporting that Jonathan Daniel Pollock, Olivia Michelle Pollock, and Joseph Daniel Hutchinson III, all taken into custody just yesterday, the 30-year anniversary. And it revealed that the suspects were either related to or close friends with or lived near one another here in Florida. Now, they traveled together on January 6, 2021, dressed in military-style tactical gear. They're accused of assaulting U.S. Capitol Police and or Metropolitan Police Department officers. The arrests were made 3 years on the date of the attack.
Well, the FAA grounded some Boeing 737 MAX 9 aircraft after an Alaska Airlines jet made an emergency landing in Oregon on Friday. The airline says it canceled at least 160 flights on Saturday and expects disruptions in air travel will likely last through next week. The FAA and NTSB are investigating Friday's incident. A number of passengers suffered injuries during the incident, but are recovering.
And switching gears to flights across the country right now, experiencing lots of cancellations and delays. And on top of the cancellations and groundings of the 737 MAXs, well, there's also the strong weather system that we've been talking about, primarily in the Northeast. Take a look at the FlightAware's misery map.
Okay, so let's take a look. 277 delays and 98 cancellations. A lot of them out of the Northeast, which is what we typically see on these mats in the New York area, but also Dallas and Houston seeing a little bit of delay. So if you're traveling, expect that to happen. So now delays and cancellations are expected to increase throughout the day. Airports had advised passengers to check their flight status before heading to the airport.
Small businesses are the backbone of our local economy. A big part of the businesses, well, startup community, a sector of San Antonio that is growing leaps and bounds. One of the programs working to help our small businesses, mom and pop stores get off the ground is Launch SA.
Joining us in today's Leading SA segment is the Director of Launch SA, Matthew Espinosa. Good morning, sir. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Matthew, for those who don't know, what is Launch SA?
Great. Yeah. Launch SA is a partnership between the city of San Antonio and local startup community Geekdom. What we do is we provide a resource center for small business owners and entrepreneurs that are looking to launch their business or are facing some challenges as a small business owner. And this is a service provided to all residents here in the city of San Antonio.
So, Matthew, what has Launch SA's path been over the last few years?
Yeah. So Launch SA has been around for a little under 10 years. Recently, Geekdom has become the partner with the city of San Antonio on Launch SA. And over the last couple of years, they've really been providing services for businesses that have been navigating COVID and the kind of post-COVID business community world, providing virtual services and programming really tailored to the needs of the small business owners. And for us here in the last few months, as we've taken over as a new partner, we've been focused kind of on continuing that service, navigating the day-to-day of what business owners are facing and seeing how we can tailor programming and events based on the needs of the businesses.
Look, it's something we talk about a lot. Education institutions here in and around San Antonio, we are growing so fast. I mean, especially as it pertains to downtown. UTSA has the new beautiful campus right in the heart of downtown. And obviously that's instrumental for the growth of our city. What does that connection look like between Launch SA and your alma mater, UTSA, and other educational institutions?
Yeah, absolutely. My own entrepreneurial my own entrepreneurial path was actually started with Launch SA. They have really strong connections with local universities like UTSA, St. Mary's, Trinity, and really Launch SA in itself is a space that's for people very early on in their entrepreneurial journey that might be seeking how to get started, what that looks like. And for a lot of university students, they may consider entrepreneurship as a path for them post university. So Launch SA already has existing partnerships with some of the universities, but we want to continue providing that support. And again, considering entrepreneurship as a path for some of these students as they graduate. And what's really more powerful is the networking with the local business community. You know, there are small business owners that may be looking to university students to learn kind of the biggest marketing trends and what, things that can change their business that may even lead to opportunities for these students to get hired as they network with the community.
So Matthew, what does a startup community look like across our community?
Yeah, absolutely. As Max mentioned, the small business community is a really big pillar of the economy here in San Antonio. So there's a lot of small business owners that are wanting to support other small business owners. And there's a lot of new organizations over the last few years even that have popped up to support entrepreneurs of all different industries and different types. And for us, what Launch SA is really trying to be is that hub of those organizations and those partners that support small business owners and entrepreneurs. Because again, if you're just starting a business and you have no idea where to get started, Launch SA is a great place to go to kind of hear all the other places. And that's kind of part of the work that we do as well as over the last 10 years alongside Launch SA being in existence, the work Geekdom has been doing here in downtown San Antonio, giving that path for people to work, connect with other entrepreneurs. It's an exciting time, and we want to continue to help small business owners recognize some of the organizations they may not realize exist here in San Antonio for their business.
And I really just want to emphasize, too, this is not just for technology startups. This is entrepreneurs, small businesses, mom and pop shops, all sizes, shapes, and ventures, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Our kind of big focus is, the small business support here in San Antonio. So for a lot of those small business owners, as they're just getting started, they may be exploring what it looks like just to sell their product and what, licenses or permits they might need for their business, depending on what industry they are. So yeah, Launch SA is really that support mechanism for the small business community here in San Antonio.
Add one last question for you. My producer's going to kill me for even asking it because we're running out of time. But if you could wrap it up quickly, what are some of the big challenges that these small businesses and startups are facing right now? Yeah, absolutely. Over the last couple of years, it's really been navigating COVID, for a lot of these businesses, but also post-COVID as the world has kind of changed for small business owners day to day. And that starts with resource centers like ours, right? We had to pivot virtually, both Launch SA did and Geekdom as well. So and really we're focused on helping activate and bringing back that community in person. And again, there's new challenges and new things that are faced. And for a small business owner, they're probably facing 10 to 15 different things that are new to them. So having that small business owner being able to connect with another one to help them and guide them through the process is kind of some of the work that we're doing. So I think that's some of the things that they're navigating in the last, year or so as they're whether launching a business or kind of facing some situations with their small business.
Matthew Espinoza with Launch SA, thank you so much for joining us, and our viewers can watch this interview in full later this morning on KSAT.com.
Time now, just about 8:12, 40 degrees.
Let's take a look outside with live cam. 40 degrees at 8:11. Hey, we're back on camera.
Oh, hey.
Hey.
You got Restaurant Week pulled up on the phone.
I
was like, what are these menus you're looking at?
We're going to talk about that in the break in just a bit, Max. But hey, Mike is in. He will have our forecast when we come back.
Good morning and welcome back. All right, so it's 40 degrees now. What do we?
38, actually.
I'm just reading.
I know. Sometimes that thermometer is a little bit different, but the official reading is 38 right now.
And today there's a Cowboys game with
3:25.
Okay, so.
Excuse me, and there's a Lions game at.
Excuse me.
Sorry.
So. Oh my gosh, we can hear the boos from the control room.
Did we talk about the Michigan
Not
championship
booing
game
for the
tomorrow
Cowboys.
night? So let me get it in here. I haven't had a chance. So go ahead.
I was just saying, because people will be outside grilling today, getting ready for these games.
For it.
Okay.
Little windy though, and we've been emphasizing anything that's outside that can blow away, bring it in, tie down something, because it is going to be breezy tonight, but then also very, very windy tomorrow afternoon and going into Tuesday as well. So, and the Michigan game is on ESPN tomorrow night. It was at 6:30 our time. So. Sorry.
Mike is very excited about this game.
You know, it's been a while, so, and the line. Anyway, beautiful start this morning. Couple of clouds out there right now. And yes, it is on the chilly side. We've got freezing temperatures in parts of the hill country right now. All right, here's what's going to be happening throughout the day. We'll have sort of a mixture of sunshine and clouds. Then by just after dinner time, a couple of little sprinkly showers going to try and form up around here. And a couple more later on this evening. Not a big deal at all. This will start to fill in somewhat overnight and early tomorrow morning. So one thing you can count on is that it's going to be a damp commute tomorrow morning. We will have a few light showers around the area, even a couple of thunderstorms as well. Most of the activity, though, is going to be further up to the north of us, but and just don't be surprised if there is a couple of cracks of thunder or so as we go into the morning hours tomorrow. Then that all clears on out of here, and this is the time right around mid-afternoon when the front moves on through. So we're going to hit our high temperature early on in the day. 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, then temperatures will start to drop down. And notice how by even 4 o'clock we've got winds. Now, even though it is going to be breezy in the hill country tonight, we've got winds tomorrow that are going to be gusting 30, 35, 45 miles per hour, and even stronger than that, even going into tomorrow night. Look at that, 52 mile per hour wind gusts forecast in Fredericksburg tomorrow night at 8 o'clock, and it stays very windy overnight into Tuesday morning. It's going to be cold Tuesday morning, forecasting 37 for a low temperature. That doesn't even take into account these winds that are going to be, now granted these are the gusts, but winds are going to put those wind chills well down into the 20s and maybe even into the teens in parts of the hill country. Stays kind of windy throughout the day. I shouldn't say kind of windy, 37, 40 mile per hour wind gusts throughout the day on Tuesday, but the winds will begin to settle down. Here's the humidity that comes in here overnight and tomorrow. Then it really drops down. So bone dry air in place, no wind, bone dry air, clear skies. That's going to allow temperatures to really drop down Wednesday. Humidity tries to come back in here toward the end of the week, preceding the next front. All right, look at temperatures around the country right now. International Falls at 10, a lot of 20s, some teens up there in Cutbank, but go further north, a chunk of just brutally cold Arctic air, 38 below in Yellowknife, 36 below in Stony Rapids, and some of this is wanting to then drift down to the south. Take about a week or so, but we're looking like may see a pretty decent chunk of some Arctic air just briefly come in here, and then for next week, the week of the 15th. Even though we do have a couple of cold fronts, though, one tomorrow, and then there is yet another front late in the week. So 67 degrees today, 70 tomorrow. We'll hit that mid-afternoon. Temperatures drop in the afternoon. Front comes through. We have the rain in the morning and windy conditions. Then it's going to stay very blustery overnight. Tomorrow night into Tuesday, we get down to 37. Again, wind chills to deal with Tuesday morning, up to 60 in the afternoon. Freezing on Wednesday, a bit milder than Thursday and Friday, back up to 70. Then another front comes through here, and we are going to be seeing freezing once again by Saturday morning. We'll have more. We're going back to them or break? To them. To Sarah. To them. Them, take it. Okay, I'll walk over here. Can we get a 3-shot?
I know you love hanging
out. I never know, sometimes a different format on Sunday morning. So
behind the curtain, Mike was very lonely in the 6 a.m. He was very
upset because they cut all the 3 shots out. and he complained
I'm just
to
used
the
to being,
producers.
like I said,
He wants to be next to us.
Always welcome.
Who doesn't
to hang
want to
out,
be
Mike.
with these two?
I know.
Oh, always a pleasure on a Sunday morning at 4 a.m. Time now, 8:20, 40 degrees.
A dog's best friend turns out to be a cat. Okay.
Oh.
After the break, the story about Oakley and Binks's life-saving actions after Oakley went outside and was visited by not-so-friendly guests.
I feel like this is the start of a Disney movie.
I love it.
All right, let's take a look at those lotto numbers. 676, Fireball 9, that's your pick 3. Your daily 4, 5606, Fireball 2.
Catch 5, 6, 12, 14, 28, 32. Texas Lotto, 9, 11, 13, 16, 40, 47. Let's look at those Powerball numbers. 4, 31, 34, 38, 61, Powerball 13, Power Play 2. Well, they say people fight like cats and dogs, but how about a cat that fights for a dog, saving her life?
CNN's Jeannie Most reports on the feline who put her life on the line.
6-year-old Oakley has a lovable face. She can do spins in exchange for a treat. But when she went out to do her business in the backyard of her Edmond, Oklahoma home, no amount of spinning would have saved her from the coyote that pounced if the family cat hadn't jumped in.
Is she a tough cat? Like, is she like a street cat? I mean, is she...
Yeah, she's a gangster.
Lane Dyer says Binks is a stray that he and his family take care of.
Her and Oakley hit it off pretty good from the beginning.
So when the first of 2 coyotes grabbed Oakley, it was Binks to the rescue, taking on the intruders, scaring them away, though not before Oakley suffered wounds that had blood
Spouting out of her chest, unfortunately.
But with stitches and a splint, Oakley recovered a little over a month later.
And so
She yawns over the story of Binks saving her. Coyotes have become such a danger to small dogs that one owner created the coyote vest.
Done.
With spikes protruding from a Kevlar vest and even
A set of coyote whiskers.
nylon bristles that at least look intimidating. But who needs a coyote vest
I think she's shown that she's not afraid of much.
when the cat has your back? Jeannie Most, CNN, New York.
Good morning. Happy Sunday. It is January 7th. I'm Max Massey.
I'm Sarah Acosta. Happy Sunday. And you went outside yesterday.
I went outside. I did not take my Christmas decorations down, but they're done. You got everyone. Everything went smoothly. No injuries.
Minus the phone being left in the attic, and I had to crawl on my husband's shoulders to get the phone.
That's teamwork.
It was teamwork.
It's team bonding.
My
You went
footprints were on his shirt for the rest of the day. I didn't say anything. He didn't see them. I just we went to the restaurant later. I was like, oh.
Oh, you let him wear it to the restaurant.
Well, I mean, we were like in, whatever clothes, and
Okay.
I was like, oh my God, there's footprints on the back of his
good.
shoulders.
Sarah also doesn't tell me when my tie is sideways or I have stuff in my face. So I think this is just a personality thing.
I just don't really notice.
That's fair.
Until usually after the show. I'm like, did you wear that?
Yeah. Mike Osterhage, on the other hand, great attention to detail.
Oh my gosh.
When
the
we
best.
start the new show, KSAT's Got Talent, and you and your husband can do the,
I know.
the acrobatic thing.
Yeah,
Yes.
pretty much Cirque du Soleil over here.
Okay, beautiful start to the day. We've got a couple of clouds out there. It's definitely cold. You need to grab a jacket. We've got temperatures right now that are, and I've got, hang on one second, I'm going to click a couple of different buttons here because I had the wrong show popped up. And temperatures are in the 30s. We've got some freezing readings in portions of the hill country as of right now. Let me get back to this graphic. Here we go. And right now we stand at 38 degrees out there at the airport. Dew points at 35, and then a little bit of a wind out of the north. And we'll have kind of a mixture of sunshine and clouds throughout the day. And like I was talking about, freezing temperatures, 28's Kerrville, Comfort, 29 Bandera, and right at freezing up the road in Bernie. And then in and around, say, Rio Medina, your backyard, you may be at freezing. Then we're going to see a huge warm up with those dew points down in the 30s. That allows temperatures to warm up. So we're going to be gaining basically 30 degrees throughout the course of the day. Mountain Cedar is very high. This is from yesterday's reading, and it's going to be interesting to see what it is then tomorrow morning, Tuesday morning, and Wednesday, because it's going to be breezy tonight. We'll have primarily southeasterly winds, but then when the wind shifts around out of the northwest tomorrow, that's really going to shake up those mountain cedar trees. So we may be looking at some of the highest mountain cedar readings we've had so far this season. Wind advisories for the hill country, 6 o'clock tonight up until 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. Then fire weather watches for western parts of the hill country tomorrow morning through tomorrow evening with those winds that are gusting 55 miles per hour. And this is going to be extended as we go on into then tomorrow night and Tuesday. So partly cloudy, warm, breezy today. A couple of showers tonight, windy, breezy. Then tomorrow, morning showers, couple of thunderstorms. 70, we hit that midday. Front comes through here, very windy then tomorrow night in through Tuesday. Wind chills Tuesday morning are going to be really, really down there. And then we're going to be hitting a freeze on Wednesday morning after those winds slacken off. Another couple of fronts down the road. We'll talk about that in just a couple of minutes. Sarah, Max.
Thank you, Mike. San Antonio police still investigating an apartment shooting that ended with a 22-year-old man in the hospital. This is what we know right now. It happened yesterday just before midnight. This is at a apartment complex on Starcrest Drive. It's not too far from Parent Vital and Loop 410. Investigators telling us a man got into an argument with a woman earlier Friday night. Later, she came back, she found him, started shooting at him through the door. Now, investigators say that woman has not yet been apprehended. They are still investigating, still trying to figure out who exactly the suspect is. As for the man, the victim who was shot, he is expected to recover.
Now to an update to a story that we brought you first yesterday here on GMSA. San Antonio Police Chief Lloyd McManus giving people a stern warning over street takeovers following the arrest of 4 teenagers. DPS had surveyed the streets takeover on the west side just north of Castroville Road and General McMullen in the early hours yesterday morning. Police followed a car where they saw someone toss a handgun out the window. That car ended up crashing into a QT. Police arrested 4 people between the ages of 14 and 18. The teens face several charges, including evading arrest with a vehicle. Chief McManus says street takeovers are a dangerous thing, and those who do it will face the consequences.
It's a dangerous, foolish, reckless thing to do on public streets or in parking lots, wherever it may be. We are going to take your car, and you're not going to get it back. Not to mention that you will be arrested.
Police also recovered 3 weapons, one which is stolen. McManus hopes this sting serves as a warning to street racers.
Well, the search is now on for a new director of San Antonio's Animal Care Services. That is not the video on the screen, but we do have a lot more to talk about. So this comes after a year of severe dog attacks and, of course, heightened stray animal populations. Residents across San Antonio say they want to see more out of Animal Care Services. Now, on the city's application page, the job description, well, it emphasizes a need for improving current procedures, developing a strategy that fits our community. Now that we're in a new year, neighbors say they're still dealing with the same old problems. They find strays, they have animals not being spayed or neutered, and that's why animal activists, advocates, well, they're hoping the city considers a wide range of applicants.
This has been a hard year, but it's time for an intervention. We need somebody that has done a city before, as big as San Antonio, if not larger, has cleaned that city up, and now we need that person to come in and clean our city up. They have the solutions, we need them.
And of course, for the application process, we reached out to ACS earlier this week. We're still waiting to hear back. Just a few weeks ago, though, we spoke to the current director, Shannon Sims, recapping 2023. And they say education enforcement should always be top of mind.
Here's some good news. If you saw a convoy of cars escorted by police on I-35 yesterday, it was for a good cause. Wheels for Wishes, rides to benefit St. Jude's Children's Hospital. They do these kinds of rides back and forth between the Alamo City and Austin a few times a year. Everyone that rode on the escort donated a minimum of $20. And the final push is on in Iowa with the all-important caucuses just over a week away.
So former President Donald Trump still solidly in the lead. And, well, he's stepping up his campaign against Nikki Haley. ABC's Mary Alice Parks explains.
The pressure is on. Republican candidates in Iowa turning up the heat on each other, and in particular on frontrunner Donald Trump.
God bless President Trump. He's been on a temper tantrum every day about me.
Not building the wall, elevating Fauci, adding $7.8 trillion. There's a lot of reason why he should not be the nominee going forward.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis accusing Trump of not following through on his promises, like getting rid of the constitutional right to citizenship if you're born in the country.
He had 4 years in office. All he had to do was sit down at that Oval Office.
Former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley making one of her strongest arguments to Republican voters, talking about how well she does in hypothetical matchups against President Biden.
What we have to do is make sure we don't have another nail biter of an election.
Though many of Haley's own supporters acknowledging Trump's commanding lead in the primary polls.
What do you think Nikki Haley needs to do here in the state to show the rest of the country she can compete against Donald Trump?
Well, if she could get second place, that would help out a lot heading into New Hampshire. I don't know if she can do it.
Trump focused on his rivals, too.
Nikki Haley has been in the pocket of the open borders establishment donors for her entire career.
And speaking to his supporters about the Civil War fought over slavery, saying he thinks it could have been negotiated.
See, there was something I think could have been negotiated, to be honest with you. I think you could have negotiated that.
That was Mary Alice Parks reporting. A video game now being credited with helping finding a missing teenager from Ohio. Now, authorities in Marion County, Florida say it turns out she was lured to a 31-year-old man's home because the two shared an interest in the game World of Warcraft. Sheriff's deputies in Marion County arresting this man, Thomas Ebersole. Authorities say he initially denied knowing the 16-year-old, but later admitted he drove to Ohio to meet up with her. The suspect also telling investigators he was in a romantic relationship with the teen, planned to hide her in his home and make her his wife. He is now facing multiple charges.
Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin was hospitalized for several days after New Year's, but did not share that news with anyone, including President Biden. Austin made public his hospitalization for the first time on Saturday. He revealed that he spent several days at Walter Reed National Military Medical Center and thanked the medical staff for its care. He was reportedly admitted after he suffered complications from an elective surgery. As of Saturday evening, Austin was still in the hospital, even though he had resumed his full duties. The White House has since said the president has complete confidence in Secretary Austin and is looking forward to him returning to the Pentagon.
Back here at home, an exciting time for San Antonio. A full week of practices in the Alamo City, leading us to the official kickoff of the 2024 All-American Bowl. 100 highly touted prospects across the country wrapping up their high school football careers in a high-profile ball game inside the Dome. James Peoples, a four-star recruit, signed with Ohio State, representing Veterans Memorial on the East team. It's East First West. Peoples rushed just twice for 2 yards, caught one pass for 4 more yards for the East team. There were many highlights to come out of the day. One day, we're going to look back at some of these highlights and say, hey, remember when they played in this game? Because now they're in the NFL. West won the game 31-28, and like others with their respective teams, Peoples will be joining Ohio State Buckeyes football team next year. And of course, the San Antonio All-Star Game followed for another great display of amazing football talent in the Dome, featuring over 100 seniors, standouts, including John Jay quarterback, Jackson Gutierrez, the Navy commit. Look at this beautiful ball right off the back foot to East Central's Austin Vivier for a touchdown. Team Gold got on the board just before halftime. Warren's Antonio Meza, wait for it. Oh, this is beautiful. Hitting Johnson in the back of the end zone. Great throw and catch. It's Team Gold scoring the rest of the way for the All-Star Game. Team Gold would go on to win 25-7. Time now, 8:40, 42 degrees.
Before we head to break, we want to mention that today is the last day San Antonio Pets Alive. It's waiving adoption fees at its Medical Care Adoption Center on Marbach Road. That address on your screen right there.
And of course, this is the last chance to save a pet for free. Again, today is the last day for the special, the free special. All pets from San Antonio Pets Alive come vaccinated, microchipped, spayed, and neutered, and with active heartworm prevention.
42 degrees at 8:41, shaping up to be another beautiful day. So if you are going to be, grilling, barbecuing, getting ready for the Cowboys game, my favorite time of the day on Sundays before a Cowboys game is smelling all the brisket in the air.
Oh, that sounds fantastic.
Mike will let you know about the forecast when we come back.
Good morning and welcome back. We love the planets here. We're getting a breathtaking new look at Jupiter's moon, Io.
Sure.
Okay, Mike's shaking his head. Yes, he's our local scientist. The most volcanic body in the solar system. NASA sharing these images on social media after the spacecraft Juno came within, not too far, 932 miles of the moon back on December 30th.
That is the closest a spacecraft has come to Io in more than 20 years. Scientists say they hope the flyby will allow them to gather data about Io and its volcanic nature. NASA won't have to wait too long for more data and images of Io, since Juno will be making another flyby on February 3rd.
Maybe this is just me, and I'm not a patient person. Does this mean we're getting closer to understanding the solar system and one day venturing out and making it more popular?
I mean, yes. I mean, look at all the people going up in space. I mean, Michael Strahan has been to space.
Kind of.
He's been to space.
No,
he's been to space.
He's kind of been to space.
He's been
like a little
closer
higher
than you have, Max.
That's fair, but he's also, Michael Strahan.
Honestly, I like gravity. I'll stay down.
Well, the interplanetary travel, and the next big goal is Mars, obviously, but the thing to overcome is the fact that it takes like 9 months to get there and 9 months back. So what do you do in that? And so to conquer those hurdles, not the technology of that, but like the food.
Right.
You're going to have to grow all the food while you're there.
I've seen the movie The Martian, so I think I'm prepared.
So potatoes.
Yeah, lots of potatoes.
Tough climate.
Boiled shrimp, boiled potatoes, fried potatoes, everything else. So, but it is interesting when they sent out the spacecraft into the solar system and to see these up close pictures. And I remember the first pictures when I think it was Voyager went through the rings of Saturn and saw that it was just these, little particles that made up all these rings and everything. So, real cool. So, all right. Do you know Saturn could float if it were on water?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because the gases that it's made up of are lighter than water.
Look at that. Fun fact of the day.
If you had a big enough pool to hold Saturn, there's the trick.
That's a pool party.
All right, lots of sunshine. I was just looking out the window here in the front window at the station, and a lot of sunshine. As you can see, just a couple of clouds left over right now. Temperatures are pretty darn chilly. We've got freezing readings still in parts of the hill country. Let's jump ahead to next weekend and then a few days beyond that, going into the week of the 15th. So, leaning toward, or the odds being that it would be on the drier side. We do have another front moving on through here next Friday into Saturday. May give us a little bit of rain, but not that great. And even beyond that, on the dry side. But notice how the odds of being well below normal. We've got some very cold air that's looking like it wants to come in here for next weekend and then the first part of the following week. And then that extends into 8 to 14 days down the road, the 15th through the 21st. Again, at or slightly below normal precipitation, but still definitely on the colder side for that period. So the middle chunk of January is going to be on the cold side. We've got the front coming through tomorrow. We've got another front, as I mentioned, Friday into Saturday. Then what we're looking at, there's a big batch of Arctic air. Last half hour I showed you that some of the temperatures were down in the 30, 38 below range up there in northern Canada. And some of that Arctic air wants to push its way down to the south. And this is going in next week into the week of the 15th, not this upcoming week. And that we are looking at sometime during that week, a brief, take note of that, brief hard freeze. Now, this is still a week and a half away at least, so a lot can change, obviously, between now and then. Today, we are going to be seeing sort of a mixture of sunshine and clouds. Beautiful day. It's going to warm up nicely. Jacket this morning. Probably won't need it by later on this afternoon. And then once the sun goes down, it's not going to cool off as quickly. We're going to have some few more clouds around here. And by later on this evening, we are going to be seeing a few showers that are going to work their way on in here. And so by, say, 7 o'clock, 1 or 2 of those showers out there, a couple of more as the evening rolls on, and then overnight. One thing you can count on tomorrow morning, we will have some showers, even a couple of thunderstorms around the area. So count on a damp commute tomorrow. So allow yourself a little bit of extra time. That's going to be the case through the morning hours tomorrow. Then all that clears on out by early afternoon. And this is the time when the front moves on through. So we're going to hit a high temperature of 70 tomorrow. 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, then temperatures will start to drop down. But most noticeably, the wind is going to be picking up as we go into the afternoon. So it is going to be breezy overnight tonight, preceding that front. But then once that front comes through, we're looking at those wind gusts to be in the 40, 45, 50 mile per hour range. And that will then extend into Tuesday. So here's this low that's moving on through here, or just to the north of us. It's not close enough to give us a really good chance or a really good amount of rain, but that pulls down that front tomorrow. We stay very chilly Tuesday as well as Wednesday. Wednesday we're going to be hitting freezing. Then we sort of modify just a little bit going into the latter portion of the week. Then we have the next chunk of cold air, which is going to try and push on through here, and that's going to be Saturday into Sunday. But we're still looking at that really, really cold stuff up there in Canada to sort of push its way and muscle its way down here toward the week of the 15th. So today, 67, 70 tomorrow. Breezy overnight tonight, and then windy tomorrow. We've got wind advisories, hill country tonight, fire weather watch for western parts of the hill country tomorrow. I think a lot of those wind advisories are going to be extended then into Tuesday as well. Very cold Tuesday morning, 37 degrees with those wind chills, down to freezing Wednesday morning. And again, the winds are going to be gusting 45, 50 miles per hour. So batten down the hatches.
Okay, got to bring in some of my sensitive plants.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Mike.
Thanks, Mike. Time now, 8:51, 42 degrees.
We'll be right back.
It is a beautiful, beautiful Sunday. We've got a few clouds out there right now. Cold right now. We've got 38 degrees. Definitely a good freeze in parts of the hill country, but it's going to warm up nicely. We'll gain basically 30 degrees throughout the course of the day, and 60 at noon, 67. Breezy, especially tonight. We'll have a couple of showers developing. We do have some wind advisories for the hill country tonight to tomorrow morning, and then the fire weather watch for western portions of the hill country tomorrow. This is taking into account after that front moves on through here. And my guess is a lot of the advisories, fire weather watches, even potentially red flag warnings going to be issued then Monday into Tuesday because of the windy conditions. 70 tomorrow prior to the front moving through. Wind chill Tuesday morning is going to be tough. And then 60 in the afternoon, freezing Wednesday, milder the rest of the week, and another front comes through Friday into Saturday. Few showers, couple of thunderstorms overnight and tomorrow morning. So bit of a damp commute tomorrow. Keep that in mind.
Thank you, Mike. Okay, Cowboys play at 3 today?
3:25.
Okay.
Are we doing another version of ESPN here?
Yes.
Okay, so Cowboys fans, with a win, you clinch the division. You're going to win because the Commanders actively want to lose.
Okay.
Yes, Mike, we know
Cowboys
your
have
Lions
control their own destiny, right?
Yes.
And the Lions play the Vikings again.
Have a great day.
So